These would look ridiculous. Is that like a millennial term?
Oh, wait.
Jared's.
Right here.
Okay, good.
That's funny.
Oh, good.
Let's see if I remembered to.
Ta-da. Fix.
Yay! This is way happier.
Yeah, I didn't really want to put someone's custom in-ears inside my ear balls.
Gross. Well, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't work. The custom in-ears are truly custom. All right. I need my computer so I can say hi to people and stuff.
I need my hands so I can...
Wait, what's this? Is that your computer on the edge? Or is that just, are we ruining the illusion?
Is there something on my... Yeah, there is. Yeah,
no, it's all right. I was just wondering, like... Now, I need to have control. Dang it. So it's 10.0.1.240, I think?
What if there's just a really shitty GoPro about 1 foot away from Dada's face? That's just a Dada cam.
Yeah, how are you going to get live off of a GoPro in 4K?
Just ignore
This is the same reason we don't use GoPros on the rocket.
Damn it, Ben.
I know. 1.0.240?
1.5.1.4.1.
I'm gonna have to look at the other.
.5.
So I realize everyone the camera angle is wrong. I don't have a Dada right now, so I have to I'll have to do this one.
Are we going to have a Dada?
I don't know. I mean, these aren't required, right?
I know, that wasn't the question.
So I don't know.
Need me to move a camera or anything?
10.0.1.240. I got it correct the first time. What the hell? I'm on the station 204 network, preferences, 10.0.1. All the hackers are hacking me right now. About. It's version 7. Let's just quit all of this bullshit. Oh, wait, I may not be on the network. Hold. Network.
God damn it.
204. Epic. We'll just do renew. Yeah, you're not happy.
Tima,
Yes?
you bring your computer?
Did I bring my computer?
Yeah.
Nah.
No?
Was I supposed to?
No, not necessarily, but
like
then you
that.
can't see the chat room.
I feel like that orange is like all up in your face.
It is.
Is that why you like it? Let's take the...
No, you're the one who picked this color.
You picked the color. You live with it.
It was this or gray. That was the problem.
There you go. Look at that. Now it's artistic.
I hate you on many levels.
I know. Well, we'll leave it here until Eric shows up, and then we'll make nifty things.
Hi, Neuropilot. Hi, Vaxedrum.
Oh, so, okay. Are you online now? That looks... What the what?
It's funny. I kind of keep thinking that you, Space Mike, can see me, like, looking at my phone. It just, it feels like someone's like looking over it.
Look.
Yeah. Hey, stop! This is private.
Tim, now's not the time for that. Come on, man. Put that away.
This is private stuff, dude.
That I need.
You have private
I can't help
stuff?
what my screens show me.
Thank you.
All right, close out of that. All right, we'll start. And hi, everyone. I'm sorry that this is so sketchy, but that's how
That's
our
right.
hangouts
They're
go.
like, wait, I forgot there was no show today.
Aww.
Tim, look. Target is a cute chair.
That is a cute chair at Target.
Right?
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I should show Audrey that. We're going to replace a couple chairs in our house.
House.
All right. Hi, everyone. Oh, I'm not too late. God, this is super cash like this, right? Just be like,
Yeah, don't do that.
I need booze.
It's annoying.
Hey, did we bring the gummy bears?
No.
Something about gummy bears? What?
Hi, Stoge.
I
Oh, hi, Stoge.
put him back in the refrigerator.
Where's social?
No.
15,
Does
16,
that
17.
Surface thing work?
Yeah, grab it. It might work.
Might work. May or may not. Is this the one that gives Jared
No, that's his because his is filled with all sorts of viruses and stuff. CG, why are you
pornography?
So labeled as CG? That's weird. Did someone?
I ain't never used one of these surfaces.
Oh, give me the thing.
It's so annoying. Are we not on Twitch?
No, we will not be on Twitch for this.
Okay, that's fine. I was trying to pay attention to the chat room, realizing that nobody's in that chat room.
Oh, right.
Okay, now I see.
So, yeah, all right, yeah.
Stop looking at the password. Mike's looking over your shoulder at the password.
Mike!
Sorry.
Now he knows all of our secrets.
Thank you. I see you took me straight to Reddit.
So, Citizen 602682, yeah, Patreon hangout.
Well, wait, are you answering them on the thing that they can't see
Yeah,
you on?
I just realized. That's
Here.
when I said,
It's checking.
Hang on, is that my drink over there? Over here?
Sure.
This one's mine, right?
I don't know. Maybe. Depends. Is that coffee or tea?
Tea.
Then that's yours.
It's not espresso.
No, nothing is.
So here's what we can do now. We have the ability to actually bring in comments directly from the chat room, right? So as you guys are talking and saying things, and Tara says, "Ben, so much shame," right? I can actually bring that up on screen, right? So this is actually really freaking cool.
Right?
Yeah, right?
Wow, there was
Right.
like no delay to that either.
You know, watching live through the ping, so it works. Yeah, it's really cool. We have a queuing system now, and then if you, Vax Headroom says that's nice, right? So I can bring that up on screen. Obviously, this is something that I've wanted for quite a while, and I can go back into archives, but I can also do Twitter. So if you want to tweet us and you say @tomorrow, like here's something from Chris, it'll also, it'll bring in your username, it'll bring in your icon, and all of the text. And if I find an older tweet that has, let's see here.
Not somebody swearing.
Yeah, I
or
know.
somebody saying something bad about
I didn't.
us.
I know. I totally didn't. Hang on. Here's Loretta tweeting, and she actually tweeted with a picture, right? So the picture will show up in the upper right-hand corner. I think that's pretty freaking cool. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited. So if someone could answer, so Citizen something is asking what rank any patron can.
Look how cute.
Awesome. Any patron is able to.
Join the hangout.
Watch it. Just someone guide them to the Patreon page so that they can see that stuff. Yeah, and then Marinik's saying, "Yeah, wow, nice." I'm super excited for that. I think it's going to be really cool. So the whole point of that, and the reason I want to bring that up is because I think social is what we're over here. Social is what sets Tomorrow apart from most of the other shows out there. At least I think so. Right? It's your ability to. We bring on George Whitesides, we bring on Tori Bruno, and if you have a question, you can just ask it in the chat room, and we'll if it's a good relevant question, we'll work on pushing that over to air and asking it on your behalf. And I think this takes it to another level. If you go back to old Space Vidcast days, one of the things that I think Vax has said in the past is that he really enjoyed that we were daring enough to put the chat room, the entire unfiltered chat room, on the bottom of the screen. And we were back in the day when we were much smaller. But then 4chan happened.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And we had to stop doing that. But I've always wanted that. I love that your stuff, like your comments, can make it up on screen in your own words. And so being able to moderate and filter that and actually still have your stuff up on the screen so it is organically and truly yours, that has been something I've been working on for years. And I'm very excited for this. So the first step is if you comment in Facebook, if you comment in our IRC room, or if you @TMRO, we will have access to all of that in real time, can push it to air, can ask those questions in real time. We'll still have moderated channels like we do now for the host, so they'll see kind of only the relevant stuff, so you can continue to have your side conversations. That was the other issue we had, if you remember right.
Yeah.
Because the chat room, for those who've been with us...
That was half the battle at the time.
Yeah, for those who've been with us since the Space Vidcast days, we'd have the chat room on the bottom.
Sure,
right?
but it happens now, though, right? Because anytime we have a BBC Dad situation...
Sure.
And which is highly entertaining, don't get me wrong, right? We're talking to somebody...
BBC
Dad. Father.
BBC Dad?
Did you not see that video? Oh my goodness. Okay.
yes.
So
Yes. Sorry,
anytime
I'm
we have a
just-
situation like that, where because not that long ago we had an interview and someone's cat jumped up near them, right?
Right.
And so
The chat room is going to diverge into
Swing
cats.
Yeah, of course. That's what it becomes. That's what it is, and that's fine. That's totally
That's
fine.
fine for the chat room, but it doesn't belong in the main show proper.
But it doesn't, to be archived forever and ever and ever.
Burned on the
Somebody goes,
screen.
oh my god, no, and I'm really sad because my cat is sad right now. Like, okay, we get it. And please have those conversations. But yeah, I don't want that burned into my potentially like Loretta Whiteside's interview, right? Like that's just not going to be a thing. So
Laura, that's funny. Mini Switch
was
is
Dennis
action
Miguel.
yows.
yeah, right. So that can be problematic for that particular situation.
Someone was asking, and I don't remember the question, about YouTube. Can YouTube comments go up live?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
But
So
that's hopeful.
ultimately, that's our goal, though, right? So the ultimate
Make
goal.
all of the things.
All of the things. So you can join via Twitch. You can join via YouTube. You can hopefully join via Periscope. I don't really care. The point is, we want to be able to push this to as many different destinations as possible to make discovery as easy as possible for as many people as possible. Our goal is to get humanity excited about space again. The only way we can do that is if we can get in front of as many people as possible. I use the word possible a lot. And hopefully you get excited about the show and you go, oh, wow, this is really cool with all that social interaction. And having, again, this is where the social stuff going up on screen is going to be a big deal. And it's going to start, it starts as of this very next show, right? So obviously we're playing with it today, but yeah. So there's that, and then the chat diverging, right? So it doesn't belong burned into the bottom of the screen forever and ever. But at the same time, in the Space Vidcast days, we used to fight the community on that, being like, look, don't diverge from the topic, stay on topic. And that's just wrong, right? The chat room
Right.
should be able to go wherever it wants to go.
Yeah.
Right? If they want to talk about some side topic because that's interesting to them right now, that should be allowed, and it shouldn't take away from the show as a whole.
Can you throw that up?
Which one? Action waves?
Yeah. Will it go?
Yeah, just like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
So anyhow,
love that.
we want to allow the chat room to say whatever it wants to say, while at the same time moderating that and putting the relevant stuff up on screen so that things that are relevant to the conversation we've got to guess. Because imagine again with Tori Bruno on screen and the chat room's talking about cats. Now
That wouldn't happen,
That
but
probably wouldn't
still.
happen, but still, it'd be weird. And I think the guest would be kind of taken aback. Turned off. Yeah.
It's slightly disrespectful to a certain extent.
But
that's the nature of not disrespectful is maybe not the right word, but you know what I mean. Especially as someone, I mean, Tim, you know this better than any of the rest of us. Being interviewed, if you're watching the stream and you're seeing what I'm missing it.
Oh, this is it's kind of hard to read from here.
Yeah.
That's Green Jim who said, "So what's today's side topic while Ben is talking?"
Nice. If you are watching the chat room while being interviewed, and they're not talking about anything relevant to what you're saying, or even remotely close to even space things, right? Because of any reason, it's distracting.
Yeah.
And it can just feel like you're just not interesting.
Well, Neuropilot wants to know, but what if we have Astro Space Cats on the show?
This is then
Well, if we had Astro, then that would be the topic of the show, and then it would be relevant at that
Yeah,
point,
that'd be
right?
super cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you saw us try this out a little bit with Tori, right? And that was
the
a very
technology wasn't there.
Yeah,
You
that was a
were
very
doing it.
manual process. I was copying and pasting from the chat room and creating this whole thing, and then I would, Jared would say we're about to ask a question from so and so, and then I'd have to try to find the number it was, and then push that to data, which is why there's always this weird delay. Whereas now, I as the host can say, oh, I want to talk about. Let's see here. We'll put Vax's, which is a real cat, Vax's comment up. I, as the host, can actually prep that for Dutta, and Dutta just has to hit the go to social screen on his switcher, which is going to be really cool. So that's the first thing that I'm obviously very, very excited about. I think that's going to be really cool. I think it's going to be a game changer for the show. Also, welcome back, Space Mike.
Hello, thank you. Hi. Oh my gosh. Hi guys. Oh, so much love.
I just want to hold your hand.
Oh my God, it's the two of you.
That's weird. It's just weird. It's awkward and weird. I'm not sure I'm okay
We
with
made
that.
it weird.
Not to mention that it's too bad you're not wearing your SpaceX hats. The two of you could be like
SpaceX
different sides of the same coin right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do I have my? I don't know.
That's the one day I could have worn a SpaceX something.
I know, I did.
Space Cup.
Hey, is that one actually allowed? Does it have a SpaceX logo on it?
Yeah, on the back.
But if you don't see your back.
Where's my? I need my phone.
I
Because
mean, I guess it might be allowed.
we've got my DP is coming in today to help
I
us
just
light the
don't.
set.
Yeah.
Right? I just
Don't.
don't. So.
You can't even.
I don't. Just don't.
Can you even?
But today I was like, ha, I can wear whatever I want.
Yeah.
All right.
Me too. That's why I didn't wear clothes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds about right for you, actually.
Okay.
Was a Patreon before, but stopped when I got bugged with some clicky stuff.
Clicky stuff. What do you mean?
He got bugged with clicky stuff.
What's clicky stuff?
I don't know.
I don't know what clicky stuff
I don't know either, but this guy got bugged with some clicky stuff.
Astro something 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 clicky stuff. That's the exact comment. Look at how amazing that is. Something something.
See, now we can all talk about it.
Okay, so all right, so a couple other things. Also, let's talk about the vision of tomorrow as a whole. I've talked about for years.
Chris Radcliffe is in the chat room and is listening and maybe hearing some of these things for the first time.
That's how this works. I don't think we've actually. I think we've actually mentioned how cities is going to work and whatnot. But let me give you guys a bigger picture, like give you an insight into my brain for a moment, because you kind of have to understand what I'm thinking. Did you say sorry?
Yes.
To asteroids, I said guy. It's not a guy.
Oh, really?
Keep talking.
Okay, I got distracted. So here's the deal. The goal of tomorrow is to reach as many people as possible and get them as excited about living, working, and being in space, right? We're trying to get humanity excited about exploring the cosmos.
Right.
Tomorrow's space, so step one of this was rebrand the show out of Space Vidcast into something else that was more generic, right? And that's where tomorrow came from. And then we just kind of stayed with the space show for obviously years. That was actually a very hard and painful transition because new YouTube channel, we were basically starting from scratch. Not quite starting from scratch, but it was definitely very painful. We lost a lot of momentum.
We lost a lot of chatbots, but we did lose a lot of momentum.
Yeah, we did lose a lot of chatbots. But anyhow, lost a lot of momentum. So, okay, now we've got our space show, and this is what everything feeds into. The thing is, if you're trying to reach a group of people to get them excited about space, you don't want to reach into the existing pool of people already excited about space. We need to reach outside of that pool. We need to reach people who would easily, like if you just give them a little nudge, would easily go, oh no, I get that. That's actually really cool. And they don't know that they're excited about space yet. Mm-hmm. They just need someone to help them realize how excited about space they are, if that makes any sense.
Right.
This is where the sub-Tomorrow shows kind of come into play. We're obviously starting with Tomorrow Cities. That will be hosted by Chris Radcliffe in the chat room. We're going to be doing some cities tests a little bit later on. Tomorrow Cities will be based in Seattle, essentially, and then controlled here from the Station 204 in Anaheim. But all talent, everything else is going to be remote to us. And the idea being, starting with cities, first off, is because Chris was here. He did your interview, and it was probably the best host we've ever had on any Tomorrow show ever, because he weaved this incredible, beautiful story, and that is an art.
Just so you know, Chris, that is the level we're always going to hold you to.
Yep, exactly. I'm driving with Chris, and I'm a big transportation nerd, right? I love future transportation, personal rapid transit, bullet trains, monorails. Even though monorails are kind of yesterday's tomorrow, I still think that they could be tomorrow's tomorrow, whatever. And actually, some of the fastest trains, bullet trains in the world, the maglev trains, are technically monorails, but regardless. Just saying. Transit and energy is another one, but all of that rolls into cities extremely well. And because you've got transportation issues in cities, you've got energy issues in cities, and you've got a lot more with cities. And the neat thing about cities is like that very next step outside of space, because when we're going to Mars and we're going to the moon and we're going to all these other locations, we're going to need these habitats. We're going to start building cities in these locations. And we're going to take what we learn here and apply it up there, and take what we learn up there and bring it back down here. And that's the point of all of these sub-brands. Tomorrow Cities, Tomorrow Science, Tomorrow Tech, Tomorrow's Food, all of it somehow feeds back to space. And the goal is The idea, at least, is that we reach a new group of people that otherwise maybe wouldn't be interested in space and start slowly introducing them to ideas about humans living and working in space, the ideas of tomorrow, and funnel them back into the Tomorrow Space show. I don't know if that will work. It could be a miserable failure. I haven't the slightest idea, but I think it's our best chance forward. Along those same lines, and this is where I need feedback from you guys, I'm thinking of killing the space pods. I'm like 85% of the way there. I'm not 100% committed. And the reason for that is the whole point of the space pods was to kind of fill in the gaps in between the shows, right? So we have these live shows once per week. We wanted short, easy to consume content like in between every Wednesday. So you got a little bit more of a tomorrow feel. It was also supposed to help drive growth of the channel because long-form content on YouTube is a lot harder to consume than the short-form content. We actually saw no increase in our organic growth whatsoever when we added space pods. We haven't done space pods really that much this month. We've seen no decline in our organic growth whatsoever inside of YouTube. And the space pods do cost us money and time. And they don't translate to these other shows. So when we look at Tomorrow Science, Tomorrow Cities, all these other things, we're not going to have a space pod or a 5-minute equivalent for these other sub-shows. Instead, what I think we should be doing is focusing our attention on spinning up these other shows faster. Faster is relative because they take months. Each one of these new brands takes months to spin up and figure out. So we've been working on for Cities for a little while now. Science is still a ways out, hopefully by the end of this year, maybe not, I don't know. Got to talk to Stoge about that. So, so Fit Orion says, I've noticed them missing, I'm not sure my feelings on that. Yeah, that's just it. Here's the thing, I don't know, right? I really don't, because, Eric! Come on in, we're on air doing a Patreon hangout, so it's all... Yeah, so this is my DP, Eric. You can come. Yeah, you're going to be on camera.
The one with the red light is camera.
Yeah, this is the one that's on. So wait, there you go.
Nice.
There you go. He is the one who makes all my SpaceX webcasts look pretty. And without him, I would be in a very, 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 very bad place. So, do you have toys?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Do you mind if we play with them on air?
Sure.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I gotta go grab stuff out of my car. But...
Do you need help?
I brought some Quasar tubes. I brought some new light gear tech.
I like that they're Quasar tubes because it feels like it fits the space theme.
Yeah.
Well, I think I should buy them just for that. So the reason Eric is here today is that there's something called painting the cameras or shading the cameras, depending upon how old you are. They used to be called shading the cameras, now it's called painting the cameras. And he needs to help with that because I suck at it, and he doesn't. And the other problem I have is that we've been trying to light this set with just the crappy lights that we had from before, and we do kind of okay with what we've got, but yeah, we need a lot of help. We need to figure out how to light this back area much better without casting shadows on the planet. That's the hard part, right?
The set's cool though.
It's coming together, right?
Really cool.
It's not done. It's obviously not done yet, but because we've got the. Let's see here if I can zoom out and show everyone. Dutta's still working on stuff. Ow, shit, shoot. I mean. All right. Do I have any? There you go. Let me get a little pull focus somewhere from there. Oh, we did that. So Tim is the everyday astronaut. He was totally floating back there at one point. Yeah, the problem is when you're back there, it casts that shadow. But we do things like, I tried, this is my nerd, I tried to look at the angle of light that was hitting the planet and then simulate a sun in that same direction going through the windows. Right. So I'm trying to create that kind of like, the light's shining through this direction and that's how it would be if you're up on the station. Yeah, the problem is, this isn't bright enough. Yeah. Right? So I need a sun, I need more gigabits.
Yes.
Gigarams. Yes. So I need something that's amazing right there going this way. And then this obviously has an arc because we had to for the space. So I need to figure out how to light that. So I need to light the background fairly well. I need to not cast shadows on it. And then, again, light this without casting shadows on it. And then light my talent so that they don't have weird shadows. Normally we don't have a couch or TV here. It's usually 2 chairs. right? And then kind of an interview thing. But and this is the other thing I wanted to talk to the. Now I'm going back to these guys. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about, which is I want to move comments out here because I think we should be using this set more than we're using the news set.
The reason you, okay.
No, what? No, no. Finish your thought.
No, it's.
You disagree?
I don't disagree.
But it's open for debate. I can be convinced of anything.
There's nothing to convince you to.
I know this of you.
What?
I can convince you of anything.
That's true. Yeah. You
Okay,
just have to,
that's not fair.
whoa.
You're way better at what you do than he is. Me, I'm just the wife.
But here's the funny thing is, he is so much better at what he does than I am, but I will still argue with him over my points. He almost always wins.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, but I'm like, no, I want to do it my way. He's like, no, your way is stupid and this is why. I'm like, but it's my way and I'm right. And he's like, here are the ways you are wrong.
It usually ends with the like, all right, I'll do it that way.
Your whole push for the show being cohesive and doing it live from back to front as one whole segment without any delays or any editing or anything, particularly now with cities up the butt on the back end.
Gross.
Cities up the butt.
Cities up the butt.
Right?
Yep.
Was that we wouldn't have to move anything. It's literally just us walking from one room to another room.
I know.
And that's it, and not moving anything.
I know. I agree. I understand and I agree.
Okay. I know you agree with yourself. That's not a question.
So the tricky part of that is...
You realize you're off camera right now.
I do.
Okay.
The tricky part of that, they don't care. They don't need to see me. They've seen me enough. The tricky part of that is I want both. So I want the show to be cohesive, but I also want it to be awesome.
I know, Peter.
I'll take awesome over cohesive. Let me try that again. I'll take awesome over a break in the show live. So a final better product with like a 2-minute or 5-minute break so we can reset.
Yeah.
I'll take that to get the show into a really great place over trying to make it flow all the way through. So I don't want it to be a lesser show because we wanted to run through it. I want it to be a better show. And then what I want to do is go back, and I want to have my cake and eat it too, and then make it an awesome show that can go front to end without edits. So we need to figure out how to make it awesome first, and then once it's awesome, then we go back and figure out how to do it without edits. That's my plan. That make sense?
Maybe kind of on the same vein of what both of you are talking about, since there is a lot of space in this area right here, what if we were able to set up different stations here? I mean, obviously the main, this has kind of been the main shot for interviews of having the screen and the interviewer with this angle with the planet in the background, but maybe we can have something on the other side and have that be the news area or even against that opposite wall over there. I don't know if we were still planning on doing design there.
We are. So that is the long-term plan. The hard part about this set is, again, we can't cast shadows on the planet, which means I have to move everything away from the wall. Or actually, Eric might be able to work some sort of crazy ass magic. I don't know.
Magic.
You know what? Ass magic. You specialize in ass magic. That's fantastic. So I think this is going to end up...
Never mind.
I think we will end up with a third set, but I think we're going to get that until Orbit 11, possibly Orbit 12, right? Just because you saw... I mean, we're a quarter of the way through Orbit 10, and we're still not done with the main set. So, and I can't work Dutta to death. That's not okay. I mean,
he's got another one coming.
He's got another child coming, so
in 2 or 3 months.
I'm not going to destroy him.
That kid's
These shapes are incredible, though. This is my TD designed and built this whole freaking thing. It's all made of wood. It's like I said, it's not done yet. You can actually see it'll end up with this 3D extrusion. It's just it looks incredible. It looks great on camera. We got a couple of these that need to be fixed because they were cut not quite right, but again, it's just
the craftsmanship and it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's really great. And then we're gonna do some tweaks. We're probably gonna make the planet longer, so we'll actually have the arc start further over this way, so that it actually arcs all the way down to the end wall over there.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we
a nice
did
line to sort of match with the edge of that.
Yeah, exactly. We stopped it here because this is a true story. For those who don't know why the planet stops where it stops, it's because that's all we could afford at the time. We
literally,
couldn't afford,
you can see the tape line.
We couldn't afford the other 2 panels required to go all the way down there because this thing is freaking expensive.
Oh yeah.
This is like $4,000 installed.
Oh yeah.
To get from there to there. And it was basically 2 more panels is going to be another $2,000. And I was like, nope, we can't do that, but we can do the 4. So, yeah. So, unfortunately, that was the wrong long-term decision because now I'm going to have to rip the whole thing down, spend the actual original $6 or $7 grand, and get the whole thing put back up. But we're trying to get by with this through Orbit 10. All right, let me help you bring some stuff up. Yeah. Let's go over some stuff. Does the chat room have any questions, by the way, while we're doing multiple things at the same time. So we're doing this. Yeah, we're talking to our peeps. We're testing some new tech. We're testing our new show. So.
Yeah, I like this idea. Marnix Jansen says they would like to have the pods integrated into the main show, like as a little.
So we were talking about that.
We were kind of talking
I'm going to help him.
Yep.
The 3 of you want to talk about possibly yesterday's tomorrow and integrating that stuff into the main show.
Yep.
Maybe work with the group and see what would flow there. And I'm going to go grab some stuff, and then we're gonna actually light this up on camera so you guys can watch and see how this process goes, which will be interesting. Let's go.
I bought a drone too.
Really? Yeah. I want to see that.
I brought my Inspired drone.
Nice.
Nerd.
Ben, you should turn your mic off then, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Oh,
keep
yeah. I
it
really
on,
should.
definitely.
That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thing.
Let me give you a quick.
That's the problem. He will.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, so I'm going to tell you guys a little
finally
bit.
alone.
So about that, the integration type of thing. Here's an idea that I kind of brought up. As I'll be going back to Iowa again. Space Mike will be doing the thing, and there's a chance that maybe we'd do, the hollow stander. But we're talking about maybe doing some kind of like small takeaway thing. And one of the things that I really like. That got me interested in space personally was obviously space history and some kind of like, big event. What?
Go on.
What?
You said the magic word. Go on.
Space history?
Yep.
Oh no.
On a show called Tomorrow.
I know, but in order to understand where we're going,
yep.
we need to understand where we came from.
Okay, dada.
And I think that's still an important thing. And even if it's
Let
a
me-
2-minute
I will
portion
let
of
you
this
talk.
show.
I am telling you right now, it won't happen. Because, and Mike has heard this, so it's not like this is coming out of my mouth. It's
Because I brought this up a couple times.
Yes, it's only come out of my mouth because I've heard it so many times from Ben. He's going to tell you.
He's starting to change.
All right.
He's the
Go
one that
on.
told me just to start talking about it now,
Yep,
so we're
feel
talking
free.
about it.
Have fun.
So okay, and obviously if multiple people are bringing this up, I think it's still something that all of us are passionate about and maybe or what helped get us to this point, right?
Sure.
Or we're really excited about the future is understanding what we have done in the past. And even the idea would be not to make it some long thing or any drawn out thing, just a little like, boop, a 2-minute breakaway type of thing where it's just like all of a sudden you pop over. And
Ultimately,
now,
what you're talking about is watching Saturday Night Live and having a pre-recorded sketch.
yes.
That's what you're
Or
talking about.
not even necessarily pre-recorded. It could pop over to me.
Well, even like regular news shows. I mean, regular news programs, they'll cut for example, like live, they'll cut to their reporter who will first introduce the topic.
Right.
And then they'll cut to a pre-recorded thing that they've done
got
a
a
ton of
package.
editing and a ton
Yeah.
of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a package. It's a pod. It's a news pod. That's exactly what they call it. So I get what we're talking about there for having that sort of transition and maybe having some pre-recorded stuff that we can just play. But as far as the space history thing, one thing that I did want to say that may or may not at least have Ben think about it, is there's new information coming out all of the time. In Russia, for example, they're declassifying stuff that happened 50 years ago that no one knew about and are freaking crazy. I mean, a lot of people have heard of the Needlein disaster where one of the early rockets that eventually became the Proton rocket blew up and killed a bunch of people on the pad. Well, it turns out they had quite a few more disasters, and one of the most interesting ones just a couple months ago that got declassified was they were testing the Soyuz capsule before they actually had humans on board, and the rocket on one particular launch was acting weird, and so they did an abort, and they send out everyone to the pad and they're starting inspecting it, and like 2 hours after the abort, the emergency escape system launches out of nowhere and lost the capsule, rips it apart from the payload fairing out of nowhere, and everyone's just like, whoa, what the heck? And they had to completely redo a bunch of work because from that the rocket itself wasn't completely defueled and blew up, and a couple people died from that. Russia didn't talk about that until just a couple months months ago, and that happened 50 years ago. So I'm sorry to go on a rant there, but there is new information. There is news coming out that's actually space history.
Yeah, no. It's not a rant. Just you have heard his arguments. I mean, we've had this conversation. And don't
And
think
I
that,
understand
you know,
and agree
you
with
have had
his
this conversation with him a couple of times, let alone me having this conversation, Dutta having this conversation. I mean,
Me, them.
right. It's still Ben, and Ben still gets Ben's way.
Yeah.
Right,
But
so-
I think, okay, so one of the things that I like what Mike was saying, and what if you guys have had 10 seasons of this?
Mm-hmm.
What if we would have people look back at their favorite moments of predictions, like, I think in so-and-so years, and we would play that clip of like, and then we make fun of how far off we were, or
Yeah,
something
rule
came
number
to-
5,
Follow up
Stowe
on
just
what the
saying.
updates are.
Rule number 5, totally. We try not to make that many predictions because we didn't want to be that wrong.
Yeah.
We try not to make that many predictions because we weren't sure how long we would be
Or
on.
maybe not predictions, but
you
just
know what I'm saying,
talking
like just in
about-
general. Yeah, I mean that's where the joke of Virgin is just 6 months out came to
Right.
be, because it was like, oh well, because they say in 6 months they're going to be X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
and then 6 months would pass, and like, oh, and they say in 6 months they're going to be X, Y, and Z, and
Yeah.
6 months would pass, you know, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So there's definitely that.
4K video is not a thing. Ben, 2014.
Right. I mean, there's all that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ben said that. Did you say the 4K video was not a thing?
No, here's the.
Stop the
Wait for my mic to resync. Hang on. Did it kick in? I can't hear myself.
Yeah, I feel like I hear you.
All right, cool. So here's the thing. HD versus 4K versus 8K. It's all about timing, right? So we want to be ever so slightly ahead of the curve, but not so far ahead of the curve that doesn't make sense and it's stupid expensive. So we're ever so slightly ahead of the curve with 4K, but the reason we're able to do it is because it's at a price point where if you know what you're doing, you can actually do it on the cheap, which is right. That's exactly what we're doing. 8K can't do that, right? There's no on the cheap with 8K.
Yeah.
Once 8K becomes like this price point, yeah, we'll move to 8K. But if you were asking me to go to 4K 5 years ago, no, that would have been stupid.
Yeah.
You'd have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, to do it.
And no one would be able to watch it.
And no one would be able to watch
4K.
it, exactly.
Yeah.
But now the tools are there for us to produce live 4K content fairly inexpensively, which is actually somewhat unique. We're one of the only ones that do it, although we only broadcast 1080 right now. We don't have the encoder. I'm missing one piece. 2 pieces. One is the encoder to encode live 4K. That'll likely be out later this year. But then the second piece I'm missing is the bandwidth in the studio. I don't think I have enough upstream bandwidth to do it. So even when the 4K encoders come out, I'm still not sure we'll be able to do it. But yes, so there you go. 4K is a thing. It's all
Dada.
about timing. Thank you.
Great.
Hey, Dada.
Mute that and then address this. Yeah. So I don't know if you could see the.
Does she need that?
She can't see us right now, so yeah, kinda.
Oh, I'll just.
Right.
I can fix that.
Okay, that's why I wanted you to address
One more
this.
second, I'm sorry. Are we doing this crap again? What?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, we have a mini Dada.
Everyday Astronaut, I don't know if you can see the host chat. I've marked a whole lot of this stuff in there to make sure that we can go back to it.
Good
so I
call.
want to make sure that you know that. Okay,
Tim,
so
Tim, Eric, Tim. Yeah, cool.
Did that. You suck at introductions anyway.
yes, we all do. So I'm not saying that there isn't a place for it, and I'm not saying that anyone here is wrong. You know me. I'm only at this point repeating things that Ben has said, you know, for a roundabout against this idea. There might very well be a place for that in some way, such as Marnix again said something like, you know, there's going to be a Delta IV, a Delta 4 launch, maybe a 90-second segment about the development of the Delta 4. Fine, until like every other week we have another, like I'm not going to do a frickin' 90 seconds on Falcon every single time Falcon launches. That doesn't make any sense in any way, shape, or form. And to say, well, like, oh, well, do it once. I mean, that was the whole idea about the space pods, right? Is that you do it the one time and then you could always go back to it. That was another one of the brilliant ideas for that.
Come in closer.
But no. Yeah, no, he doesn't. It's okay. I have room. Nobody wants to sit next to me. It's fine. Peer pressure. You know, that was one of the reasons that we did one of the original space pods of the L- versus T- clock. so that we could always refer back to it. So it was supposed to be a mix of maybe some history, maybe some teaching moments, maybe some new things, but you could go delve into it a little bit deeper. The problem is, and somebody said, just throw more money at it, and that's maybe what you should do. But maybe there is a middle ground. Maybe there is an interesting middle ground of having some sort of very, very tiny, short, 90 seconds or less package, like you guys are saying, that's Space Pod-esque, that we could throw into the live show, like I said, Saturday Night Live, but with a package, right? Or, like you're saying, Space News, some sort of something. It's not saying that it can't work.
I'm also not necessarily saying that it needs to be pre-recorded. It could just be a cutaway segment to a live,
It could. You see how small the studio is. So the whole reason we would...
If it's me back in Iowa going like, and today I'm going to tell you about blah, blah, blah.
Which we might have to, because we might have to do something like that if we were going to do it, because the whole idea being the reason we're cutting away is so we can...
Make us change around.
Yes, which is going to be loud, it's going to be noisy, it's going to be disruptive, it's going to be... stuff we don't necessarily want.
And that'd be a good
ass cracks on
utilization
camera.
of, if you want other talent, multiple Skype-ins,
Right.
It'd be a usage of that. Yeah.
And again, keep in mind that anything that we pre-produce is just going to take forever.
Yeah.
That's another one of the problems
that.
with the space pods is that they just take so freaking long.
Yeah.
And that's not anyone's fault. That's just the nature of the beast itself.
Yep.
That's one of the reasons that the show is live, is so that because then we do the work, and then you do it, and you do it live, and if you screw up, you screw up, and if you don't, you don't, and you just keep going with it.
We'll do it live.
Ben, do you want to hear this now, or you want to hear it later?
Yeah, go for it.
So it's been tossed around a little bit of, have you and Everyday Ash and I have been talking about history-ish a little bit?
Yeah.
That maybe space pods, maybe kill space pods fine, but have some sort of something to go to, like in news, you either have a pre-produced package or you just simply cut away to the man on the street, right? So you're not in studio anymore. But you're still doing something live that would be essentially the cover shot for switching this out or anything else that would need to be done.
It's not a bad idea. Like, do it as commercial break number 2, or do it as coming into the viewer comments, and always have that segment, tossed back to comments.
Right.
It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Or something funny, or something just different.
What's the general consensus on that idea? Funny.
But then you've got to produce something every single week.
No, but that's the thing. That's exactly what we're trying to say. We're trying to get away from the pre-produced.
Do it live.
But doing it live. Like Tim was saying, like maybe, and Stoge was saying too, like maybe we can go to Stoge. We only need to go to Stoge for 2 minutes, not even. Right? And she's essentially our covering shot while we mess around. The whole idea being that we like the couch on this set.
I think we need it to not be orange, but yes.
Fine. But
We'll paint it.
But the idea was, I was like, this sucks because you do the interview and then you have to change out the entire set. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But if we could go to, still be live, and go to somebody else, like Mike, like Tim, like Stoge, or have even a prepackaged something or other.
For now, it has to be prepackaged because we don't have enough live channels to make it go.
Sure. But that's where all of that came from.
Yeah. The set resets is what bothers me.
That's what I said. That's where we started this, isn't it?
We made a set so that we didn't have to reset.
I know.
We want to make a set so we don't have to reset.
Thank you.
But that's the problem, is we want to make a set so we don't have to reset. That's the only one that we're resetting for, right? So news stays where it is, interview stays where it is, but it seems silly to put comments back in the lesser set.
That's why we were going to build the comment set.
Incredible.
Well, you're the cheap ass that didn't want to spend money on a third set.
That's not quite how that worked out, but okay. Okay. You know what? Challenge accepted. I'll go ahead and spend the money. You ready to build it right now? Let's go. Let's go right now.
I've got another week of this.
Let the record show that Kat just said, "Oh no" to that one.
Right. So I'm realistic. I'm being realistic. That set's not happening until at the soonest Orbit 11, right? So between here and Orbit 11, how do we make comments more awesome? It feels bad. I feel terrible that we've got this beautiful, incredible, expensive set, that we go to. Yeah, it's the longest part of the show, but we only go to it for one segment of the show, and we're not on it very often because we go back to Skype.
Can we just turn around on this set?
What do you mean by turn around?
Well, we face one way. Can we face the other way for the other segment?
If you want to reset, sure.
Okay, no reset. I still think, I'm going to say this is my favorite idea is fairly tight. You bring the table out here and have the intro, the news segment right here. You put a cool tomorrow thing in the right here.
You realize we have to be at least this far back. Like, you see how we're not against the thing, right?
But you don't have the illusion behind here. So you could
we certainly have the illusion behind there. Absolutely. If we have light hit that wall, you see it hit the wall. The illusion exists everywhere.
And there's going to be stars back
But
there.
it's not. But for now, you could do a tighter thing here and not worry as much. You could still do an interview here and have the chair basically on the very end and the TV right there, and have enough room here in between.
No. It all has to be this far away. Minimum, right? So we're actually encroaching into the area. We move the lights. You can already see the shadows created because we move the lights. This has to be another foot this way. So nothing can be any closer than more than my arm width away from the set, right? So this is the problem. Or we will destroy the illusion, unless he can work some magic and make it so that we don't have light flow through the windows. But that's not a real thing, right?
Sure it is. Eric, make that go, would you?
Because as soon as you get over here,
Our only hope, Eric.
Light in the backdrop and nothing comes through the actual cutouts.
yeah, because as soon as we get this close to it, the light from here is going to have to come down like this, and it's going to go whoosh, right through the windows, makes that noise, and it hits the background, and we ruin the illusion. The only other thing we can do, and I have legitimately thought about this, we can green screen.
I can't believe you've even thought about
Oh, that just made me sick.
Because Blackmagic bought Ultimat, and I might be able to do a live Ultimat in a way that isn't stupid expensive.
Because imagine if this right behind here is green screen.
Yep.
You could have a tighter shot here, and not, you could still have this sitting way out here a ways, and have those cameras still pointed pretty much there, and have just your one tight, your one camera back in there, pretty tight, up tabletop.
The thing is, in order to put this into perspective, that one green screen shot is still going to be about $40,000. So we can do it.
What?
Oh yeah, live good green screen is freaking expensive, dude.
Is it the encoding thing
It's 4K. It's 4K, and it's not even encoding. Like Newsmat, Ultimat, live, not in your editing program. Actually, even in your editing, how much is the Ultimat plugin? Anyone know? The full one.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, and that's the editing version. That's not even the live version.
Scheisse.
Yeah. So.
Extension cords.
Do we have? I think we might be out. How many more?
2, 1.
How long?
Power strip.
Power strip.
There might be some power strips.
I think it'd be worth playing around to see if you could use this set twice, 2 different halves, because it's so freaking awesome.
It is.
'Cause I feel like it's very underutilized right now.
It is. Both of those things are true, but I'm speaking from experience because we did all of that, right? We already tried to break it into 2, and we realized originally. I don't see anything over there. Wait. No, wrong. Yeah, that's not going to help you. That's 15/16s. Hoods. Oh, you know what? I bet we can pull. We're not using this camera.
Oh, Stoge, aren't you the cutest?
How much power are you going to push through it? This gauge going to be okay?
I'm not going to sit on a wheeled couch, Stoge.
Magnets.
So
Maglev.
we originally designed the set so that the people would be about here. After we lit it, we actually had to move everyone out to about here in order to get the illusion to work correctly. Yeah. So now we're at a point, I think, where we can move it back to about here or so.
And with the magician in the house.
See, there's only so much you can do. It's about photons, right? So he'll be able to. The problem we have, the exact problem we have at this moment that he's going to try to fix is the background is dark. And the reason the background is dark is because we can't shoot any light onto it, because as soon as we shoot light onto it, we ruin the illusion. So what he's hopefully going to do is bring in these magic quasar lamps that will actually come and have a really steep downward angle and not shoot through this way, but not cost a stupid amount of money. Because if we were to use like the little LEDs over there, it'd be, I think it was $4,000 to go all the way around. And I think his will be half that when it's all said and done.
Do you actually
find out?
Do you want the black lit up?
No. No. No,
Okay.
that ruins it really
Yeah.
badly.
I was gonna say now we're getting into some.
No, because what happens is then the light.
City lights would be cool.
City lights? Oh, there will be. Dada's working on some lights for the background for stars.
We're also going to be on a stage.
Someday.
What kind of dynamic range does this spaceship have that we can see the daylit Earth and stars over here?
Yeah. It's not the. It's the.
also not
We're
Earth.
using cameras.
24
We're using cameras from the
stops.
future that have 30 stops of dynamic
Dynamic
range.
range,
That's
okay.
how that works.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's also not Earth.
Yeah, it's not Earth.
Oh, that's true. So this is
Not Earth. It's not
darker
Mars.
anyway. It's darker.
Your eyes have better dynamic range. It's
true then. Yep, but not the cameras of the future. And also, this is lit about 1/10 as bright, so the stars are kind of equivalent-ish.
There's a film on the windows that kind of darken it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a little polarization.
Yeah,
over
exactly.
there.
Yeah, you can.
gradient.
I mean, you can see the film. It's part of the force field that's keeping the Earth or the space away from the.
The ship.
We probably should name that stupid thing. We
Planet
need to
Anaheim?
name the planet.
I think Dada should name the planet.
That's fine.
Could we call it Planet Dada?
We should because of this. Because we keep calling it not Earth, and it's really
No,
annoying.
I don't want to name this one. I'll get attacked, and then I'll have bad feelings when you replace it.
Because you know that's happening.
No.
Can we also make it less Earth-like when we redo it?
Shaky says name it Kerbin. I'm really into that.
Actually, that is not a bad
That's
idea.
hilarious.
That is a hilarious idea.
Actual photograph of Kerbin.
It's also not a bad idea.
Can't use Kerbin.
Why? Kerbal is released in. I'm sorry?
Trademark. It's
I
gotta be.
don't know. Kerbal Space Program is released mostly Creative Commons. Like you can use all of the. This is how SpaceX was able to play some of the Kerbal Space music in the webcast. Is that they don't trademark or copyright anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
I think it's either Creative Commons or public domain. They release a lot of it.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
It's Creative Commons. It's Creative Commons.
Yeah.
And I think they do that to, especially to encourage like the modding community and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And all the modders release all their stuff under Creative Commons, and they usually get taken
Ooh.
down if someone.
Did you
tries to
just control
trademark
that with a?
mods.
Maybe.
Ben's about to shit his pants, everybody.
Oh my God!
Oh my God, that's
Aliens have
amazing.
invaded. Ah.
Everyone, you are seeing Ben. Maybe you're not seeing him.
Sorry.
Do it again. Do it again. Give me blue. No, that's lame. Give me blue.
Hang on.
Did you
That's
say
also
lamb?
not blue.
Hang on, I'm working on it.
That's awesome.
Yes. That's really cool.
Ben's pants have been pooped.
So, are you allowed to mention how much
Wow.
one of those costs?
What?
One of those. Yeah.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
That's the only one in the world that exists.
I know, but is that just because it's a pre-production unit, or because you asked for it?
It's like the company that makes that kind of stuff likes me, and it was like $3,000 for that panel,
All right.
and then Luminaire is like $200, but
That's really cool.
this is like what eventually I can rig everything in
Yeah,
here
we're gonna do that now.
to here.
That's
and
a
you can
thing.
just do this,
Yep.
and then you can actually you can program like cues,
Patreon dollars, folks.
and you can also do like
Oh my God, we need to have that cheesy like the lights come up as the interview starts effect.
No.
you can make like oscillations.
That seems.
Mesmerized.
Red alert!
As much as Ben.
You can make random intensities. And then we can make color loop.
Woo.
What'd she say?
Just give me blue.
And she's
didn't
quoting
hear her?
Ben.
She's like serious. She's like, give me view.
Yeah, we have a theory.
Is any of that showing up on camera? I can't tell because I'm blinded by
Actually, the blue tones make the planet in the background look really nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the blue tones though. With the other ones, it
Can I
looks
see,
kind of
give me-
cheesy
give me
and
blue.
ruins the effect.
Give me blue.
Give me blue.
Say it, boo.
Oh, damn.
See, that almost looks like part of like the background right in between here, where over Everyday Astronaut's shoulder
Yeah.
here, looks like it could just be ocean. And to my eye, looking at the screen here, isn't ruining the effect. As soon as you put a different color on, it seems it
You
it
know
makes
what
it
is
look
ruining
weird.
the
Blue
effect?
right there looks
The wrinkles
looks okay.
in the.
Yeah.
And
What-
the fact that it's not, it's still got a glossy sheen to it.
Yeah, we'll get it. We
That I
will
don't mind
get
as
all
much.
of that fixed. When it comes
That
down, we're
catches
going to
the
put.
light more.
Yeah, I suppose.
So that's really cool. I like that a lot. I don't know that we can afford that or need that, but it's really cool. So we are daylight, and by the way, we can change all of this. We're daylight balanced in here because our old studio had giant windows that we couldn't block out, and so rather than fight the light, I decided to coordinate with it.
Daylight's better for those cameras anyway.
All right, cool.
So the thing is like with some simple like wedding DJ stuff.
Okay.
These.
Flicker.
No. I'm
Okay.
saying wedding DJ DMX.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So all you really need to do is you get these and you put them all on your set.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you do. Do these have DMX control?
We can get a DMX option for them that go on the paddles over there. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. So you could basically integrate everything in DMX.
Okay.
And then just plug it into your iPad.
Which we were going to do anyway.
And then you can.
Yeah, we're going to do it for the Twinkle Twinkles. I will say that the set generally doesn't need, like, the only thing that we need to control right now today is on-off. So I just have it on a giant power strip that I turn on or off.
It's way cooler when you turn on and off with an iPad.
That is cool. That is true. That is true.
My iPad's dead.
And then you can like, you know, when you guys can do like flashes.
So then if I,
So this is a single quasar tube.
yeah, let me, I think is it, just kidding. It's one of these. I should have labeled these. All right, so that should be mostly off. That's the one I had in the background. Oh, do you want the,
Turn this one off.
all right, I have to,
Just actually turn all the background ones off so we can just see just.
hang on, let me,
I gave you a big giant board to label it and you didn't, so your own folly.
Is this a classic Ben falls in his own sword situation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Have you met Ben?
Yeah, there we go.
the other one I can't, hang on, the other one,
That should be
the other one, the dimmer is built into it, and I'm not entirely sure where it's coming from.
All of a sudden the camera's gonna change.
I got it.
Yeah, just pull the thing.
No, I just jumped up and put this
All right, cool.
one. So.
The hangout is like, this isn't what I thought I was getting.
Single quasar tube. Move it. It's pretty bright, you know,
Yeah, that's really bright.
but you can put on a dimmer. They are dimmable.
That does work. So I think I need 3 in the background then, it looks like.
Well, it comes a question of if you want to do low as well as high. Like if you really want this to be like nicely lit, that really pushes through really well.
Yep, I do.
I think you need to do ground and ceiling.
All right, so you think it's 6 then, or do you think it's 8?
I think it's probably, let me see, that's 1. It's pretty bright.
Yeah, I said those words.
I think if you did 1, 2, 4,
7,
7 or 8.
right? Because it's longer on the. The trick is this side. Do you have enough cable to move it over to that side?
No,
This is where it all falls. This is where the illusion falls down. Is on the.
Outlet is in this back corner there.
Yeah.
All the rest have been blocked.
Careful, that's where we store the dead bodies.
He's already walked back there.
Chat room saying anything good?
That just means he hasn't hit him yet.
Somebody suggested a lazy Susan floor.
A lazy Susan floor. Yeah.
Oh, I can only pick
Like one of those
that going
beds.
as well as 3D shows.
Yeah. Shrek all over again.
Oh, Joseph for us.
I don't understand why though.
So you don't have to reset. You just move the.
It's still reset. It's still resetting though.
Sure, but you can do that in the time
No,
span that we already
you
have
move
it
over
now.
there, and then it's like the people mover.
Ha.
And you just move over here into frame for your interview. And when you're done, we just move you out.
It is amazing how much that ruined the illusion when you put it over there.
Well, yeah, this is like super black.
Yeah.
I feel like you want to keep this area dark.
Yeah, we do. We totally do.
Yeah.
So what we need to do,
Well,
and
it
that's
looks
what
like
we've
on the
been doing,
floor
is
there.
we've been gating off kind of the light, and we've not been letting it, because that's naturally how the light would go anyhow, right? The light's starting from this side, and then it's gradually grading out. So we need to kind of do the same thing. Say it again.
What does it look like on the floor there?
I should have a Q-tap, so I should put like 2 up.
You can shove that stuff around.
Yeah, because you kind of need to like do like 1, 2. I have 2 4-footers and 2 2-footers. I just need stairs.
Yeah, I don't.
I could like literally put them all up right now and show you guys what it looks like.
How many extension cords do you need?
Vanta Black Pigments is available now.
Mini stowage.
3 more.
Lisa.
How long do you need them to be?
I don't know.
I mean, just from like the wall plugs. So
You
I
can
put
type
them all
that.
up there.
It takes forever.
So I can get you this one probably.
I figured I'd communicate to her directly via whispering, so only she could hear it.
Here. Here's one of those. I don't know if you can.
It's 96 inches.
This is helpful.
Actually, it's 95 and 3/4.
See, look how long it takes to type.
Oh. You're not you, huh?
I'm me in there.
Right. All right.
That's how quick I can type, if you guys were wondering. I think everyone was wondering.
I was wondering.
Yeah. Now I showed everybody. That's my password. Guys, don't memorize that. I'm gonna need that for Facebook.
Your book of faces. I've got another one here. You're just gonna daisy chain them.
Speaking of an actor playing a hacker, has everybody seen the Nathan For You episode by any chance where they hack into an
This is
asteroid
amazing.
for this fake Johnny Depp movie?
No.
They hack into an asteroid?
Yep, with Bill Gates. It might be one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
terrible.
I hope somebody in the chat room knows what I'm talking about. No, it is hilarious. Does anyone ever watch Nathan For You in this room?
Yes,
I think that's one of the most brilliant shows.
it's quite brilliant.
It is
Stoge,
incredible.
I don't know if there's a smoke alarm, but there's like I can see 3
Sprinklers.
sprinklers.
Full legit fire sprinklers.
So no booms.
Yeah, nothing hot in here.
Actually, that lights it up fairly well, just on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I would put.
Holy crap! If not too much.
Yeah, it could be dimmed a little bit.
What are you, 2.8 here? I mean, it seems like everything's
Yeah.
pretty dim as well. Like you can bring the brightness up.
I think they're all the way up. These are not that powerful.
Gotcha.
So I
wee
think these
babies.
will probably. So I think that might be enough for the background. Although the other problem we need is we need to. I think what. How many is that? 2?
That's 2.
What's up, Melanie? Sorry.
Ow.
Hi.
Factually speaking, no one in here has ever seen Nathan For You, besides Eric.
Eric is awesome.
Yeah, Eric, because Eric's awesome.
Nathan For You is hilarious.
I have now there's 2 of us in the world, apparently, in this
The
world.
hotel episode.
Oh my god. Yes.
The hotel episode is quite popular.
I lost my mind watching that, especially the parents.
Oh yeah.
They're just sitting there like, oh, they like try to, oh my god.
Tim Bailey's rolling his eyes at you.
At me?
Yes.
Why?
Do you have tape?
Sure, what kind?
Gaff.
Any kind.
Dada.
I'm gonna tape this to the set. In the back of the set.
I had gaff.
I don't know where Gap is.
Ruin your beautiful.
How about is painter's tape acceptable?
Painter's tape is acceptable for now.
For now.
There's some right there by the computer.
We might owe him vodka gummy bears.
Oh yeah, we have vodka gummy bears.
Sort of. They're at home.
Whatever. What do you mean? Oh,
They're
that's
the gummy
right.
bears
Yeah,
from
you need
work.
regular gummy bears, but we don't have any here.
No,
Holding.
because we put them all in the vodka.
That's what I just said.
It's a terrible idea.
This is a clever
It's
idea.
kind of my
actually.
fault.
That's your fault.
But you're the one that poured this much vodka into the thing. So
They
that
soaked up that stuff.
when we filled the rest of the gummy bears, there's still liquid vodka in there.
Good.
Imagine if you hadn't. They'd just
There's
be swimming
barely.
for weeks.
No, they wouldn't.
Weeks.
Nope.
Swimming.
Nope.
And now you've got gummy bear flavor vodka. Well,
Right. That's my favorite.
That's true.
Thank you.
Treehouse Tea. We have sent cats to space.
Yeah, I
Lots of
know.
cats.
Lucite was the first cat in space.
What?
Lucite?
New seat?
The French
Lucy.
sent up a bunch of cats in late 60s, early 70s, and They look really weird because they have this really big diamond-shaped diode that they literally drilled into these cats' heads so they could monitor their brain activities and see if they were freaking out or not during the flight. So
gross.
kind of cruel, but at the same time they look like some sort of weird, like alien, like majestic creature that is in a spacesuit, looking all up and has this diamond thing popping out of its head. It's crazy looking.
Okay, I have to see that. What do you look up? Cats in space? Lucite in space.
But that's actually a clever idea. Do that there. Do another one like here.
What you would do is I would do
Maybe the bigger
Okay, all I
tubes,
get when I
like all
do
the way-
that, I almost try to show you my phone.
Yeah.
Turn your
is
mic off.
here, and then I would wrap it in some really heavy diffusion.
I
like 120.
literally try to show Mike this, by the way.
And then I think
Yeah.
for
Mike, can you see his phone?
here-
From
Can you
there?
maybe just do one
all I get
more,
is
like
that.
right down? Because remember, this isn't
Yeah,
complete.
yeah,
There's
that
going
one
to be,
right there.
see
You
that
two
wing?
are
There's
hilarious.
going to be another wing that comes out like right here. Where's the wing end? About here? You might be able to stick it
So
like here.
Yeah.
Set is the
I would
only
say-
cat sent into
I
space
would
and
say I would go
survived.
up high with it.
Oh, it's
I always feel like
Felicite,
under, like this is
not
okay, but I
Not
always feel
Lucite?
like underlit's a little.
Felicite?
The problem
Like,
is if we go
probably
up
the
high,
French word for feline?
like the planet
If
is
I had to
longer
guess.
on the bottom than it is on the top.
Whoa, that is
So I'm trying
weird.
to,
Use that.
yeah,
Holy
that's my thought process at least.
Moses.
We can do anything as long as it looks good. I don't
Shut
really
his
care.
mouth.
Also, it seems like these would be pretty easy to move between top and bottom when we get them.
Turn your mic off.
Oh, sorry.
For the love. Can't even hear myself think with all these voices in my head right now. No, more than normal. Yes.
I mean, you get used to it after a while.
You do get used to it after a while, but nobody needs. Thank you. Nobody needs Ben in their head that much. Nobody. Holy Moses.
Oh, what's this? What is this? Oh, okay, that's the same ones.
The French Google page.
Yeah, don't some of those look pretty crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy.
Poor
Weird
things.
diodes sticking out of their heads. And the sad thing is too is we actually did that to monkeys too, and the Iranians did it to their monkeys. So
Is it sadder to do it to a monkey than it is a cat?
well, I mean, I don't know. We're
I
closer related to him, so it makes me feel weird feelings. I don't know.
I need to get this lit fairly well on the
Wow,
front
that's just
side.
crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, the diode thing is just weird. That's kind of messed up.
Through the holes.
Yeah.
So
That's how you know it's a space
Or we
cat.
can just
Yeah.
if I can
Wow.
create clamps and kind of do what we're doing here, where we just mount them.
Yeah. And out of the 14 they launched, only one of them survived
Oh,
you get
geez.
Kino clamps.
landing.
Obviously, if you get Kino flow clamps.
But then again, the first couple of dogs that Russia sent all died up there too. So
Did Leica die?
We don't have anybody to be able
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, by now, yeah.
Well, but in the launch, did Leica? I didn't realize that.
I'm pretty sure that Leica died because they launched Leica in pretty much a hollowed out Sputnik satellite. There was no reentry system.
So gross.
So
So gross.
Somewhere they received a nice burnt up package of a toasty dog on reentry.
Yeah, it's just easier.
Melanie.
that would just go.
Just-
They did return some of them though,
Spot,
because that was
you
the
wanna
part
sit?
of their whole human spaceflight program.
How
So
long is
you know, they didn't.
Yeah, you can sit right
that
next
was
to
like
Daddy.
back in like '57, I want to
how long
say.
is this
And they didn't
area
do.
right here, approximately?
Let's see, which one was the first one that survived?
Yeah.
3, 4, 3,
Nice.
7,
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
14, 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, did any answer?
Each panel is 4 foot wide except for this one.
So from this part here, from this black line to the
8 feet.
8 feet.
Wasn't it nice for Kat and Dada to have a kid who looks just like me?
Got a 16. 16.
No, you're right. She's way cuter.
Right.
Don't get me
You're
wrong.
talking about the blade. Blade is a little bit shorter.
Belka. Belka
openings
was
are
the
a little
first
bit
one that they
8, 12,
turned to Earth and
16.
survived.
So, like
I just mean the main center panel.
16. Should be 16. So it should be
There's a
16.
tape measure right there.
Oh hey, look, tools.
Gross.
1 saber, 2 saber, red saber, blue saber. Nice shirt, kid.
with their star pants.
You're welcome. Yeah, the stars.
We're all
Like a-
Sputnik.
So I think if you did.
But the light's gonna spread, right?
Yeah, of course. You don't
Yeah.
need to be exact. No, I'm saying this is like I would
Comb?
do
Brush your hair, yeah. Nice.
16.
Yeah,
I would do like a
Just like at
2-footer
home,
and
huh?
then 2 4-footers.
All right.
I have one of those at home.
And then, are you going to use these flow lights for talent still?
I can use whatever you tell me to use, assuming we can afford it.
Right.
So
That last part is partially true.
There's a flower on there.
Sometimes just find ways to afford it too. The nice thing about the flow lights is that I can do a hard cut on them, and it doesn't do that weird like LED stepping thing. If you look, the problem is they're very harsh lights.
Yeah, they are.
They're super like yeah. So and then as soon as I
That
try
looks
to
like an
diffuse them,
orange.
it knocks them down so much.
Oh, Grandma has them at home?
I just want it to,
Nice.
I want the illusion to work.
Just like the color of the couch, huh?
Yeah.
If you
Kind of looks kind of cool. If he's gonna use
Wow. I can understand her really well. She's talking really,
I would diffuse
really good.
Yeah, right?
background a bit more.
Well, the other thing
That
I might
looks like
do
a
is,
map.
Let's just say we got rid of the flow lights. I might take 2 or
Yeah.
3 of them and stack
Just
them
like
up
on your
behind
phone.
these windows and point them through the windows.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then leave them really harsh because that's how that light would
Yeah,
be.
that's cool. Because it should feel like the light source is being bounced back from the planet,
Right.
not from.
Shaky says segment reset should be covered by a still of Dutta and Mini Dutta on the couch.
As far as
Say again?
That the covering shot
Yes.
should just be a still of the two of you. I don't know. Your pen is on top of it. Can I see?
So the foreground
Oh, it's a
background, you can
pencil.
look well. And then I need to light talent in such a way that they don't look too dark, right? I mean, actually, we kind of want it to be a brighter, happier, optimistic-y future.
Right. Well, that's the thing too is you want to make sure that your background is bright enough. So like, what's happening with the shadow against the back panel
What's
there?
that?
Yeah, that's correct.
It doesn't happen.
Yep.
There's bluffing it.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Just trying to think
Do you have one of those at home?
Sources are not like gonna destroy your budget. If it's LED.
It doesn't have to be. I mean, you pick something, right?
Do you have a butterfly net at home?
Yeah, but I don't want to put. I don't want you to have to do it like Joker or something here. 'Cause then
Or just that one?
you're gonna cook yourself.
It
alive
is
over
that
there,
one right
so
there.
it's over there.
What's that one?
I mean, you could take.
What's that one?
There's that one right there.
Yeah, it's an orange.
And keto flows would
You say
probably
Grandma
be
has those at
sort
home?
of right call for this because they're fairly inexpensive.
Stop asking
can
yes or
actually
no
build,
questions, Carrie. Maybe you might get an answer you like.
Best interview.
Just buy the keto thing
And then just drop
and then
it
just
in.
put 4 quasar tubes into it.
What is that?
A lot brighter.
That's a kite.
It is a kite.
Yeah, I mean, I would say.
There's that one right there.
It's just like that one right
Divas
there.
Kind of in a.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess divas would probably work.
We might need some more water. I like that.
Could I mean if you.
Yeah, you put that water in there.
Do you need more water if you colored throne pages?
A little bit.
No,
Looks like
probably not.
we're
Well,
struggling.
I
If we
looked them
bit.
up. I
Hey,
want to say we spent
what's
just
that?
under 20,000.
That looks like
Paychecks.
something you'll never see.
I don't have
An
that
igloo.
budget. I can probably go half that,
This
Yeah.
is true. I've lived all of my life without having seen seen.
I'm not sure I've ever seen one.
but it's half that.
I've seen an ice castle. Does that count?
All of it, right? Yeah. So, and I assume.
I will be right back.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing is, we don't have to do it all at once either, right? So we can keep the flow lights for a while as my talent lights, and then just kind of next year, anytime we have the ability to buy more, we buy more.
Right. Does the computer over there have internet?
Yeah, of course.
Take a look. Hey, if you want a giant LED panel like this, that's a little more than 1,000 lumens, there's a guy in town. Have you ever heard of Indie Systems?
No.
Like equipment?
Hey, there's a flower on that computer.
There is a flower on Daddy's computer.
Instead of using a
There's a Lego too, right there.
Instead it's like you can roll it up even.
Okay.
But you can
And there's a
mount
rocket.
it like that, so it has a huge surface area.
There's that one right there.
Yeah?
She points it out all the time.
The rocket?
I need them to be about 1,000 hertz or faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise they.
Hey, it's snowflake.
They're meant for video. He's pretty thick in video guy.
I can see where you would say that's a snowflake. Yep.
Yeah, there's that one right there.
Yeah, J for snowflake.
And how many lumens are there now, right?
What's that? That's a sensor.
Are these what?
It is a ladder. You know what a ladder is. Of course
Yeah,
she knows
I
what a
need
ladder is.
Papa step it.
Yeah? Papa's step ladder?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that one.
Yeah. Let me know.
Hey, that's a cup.
That's a cup?
Yeah, guys, come in right
Yes, on Daddy's computer, right there. Absolutely, that is a cup.
Should we try bringing Chris in and doing the city's demo really quick? Just make sure that tech works while we're doing stuff. Sure.
I gotta go work. Boo, you wanna still host with Carrie Ann?
Give us a couple minutes because we're computer.
You wanna sit with Carrie Ann and continue to host?
We should have Minnie Donna say tomorrow begins right now.
Can you say tomorrow begins right now? Can you say tomorrow?
Yes, you can. You say it all the time.
You getting shy.
Probably a little bit. It's okay.
Tomorrow begins right now.
Remember, you watch it all the time. Because we watch the show.
You watch the show at home? You watch Daddy on TV?
Sure.
No, we're silent.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yes, J is for snowflake. We need that on a T-shirt. But it's gotta have that picture,
Yeah.
so everyone
Fit
understands.
Orion, yes. The cameras are pretty much up against the wall right now. Pretty much right where the temperature's set. Yep.
Temporary set.
Oh, temp set. Oh,
They're actually-
The other
That's like-
tab.
temperature set.
set.
Setting the temperature. I've never heard it called that. Maybe they're from
cameras are actually
Australia.
farther
Yeah.
back behind where the temporary set was.
Okay, I'm like, I call that a thermostat, but I was like, maybe they're from.
The temp set.
The temp
Temp
set, obviously.
That's like 5 times in the past 2 days that I've just made a dummery of myself. At
You
least
make it
5
sound like
times.
that's the first time. I don't
Just the last 5
understand.
days?
2 days, 5 times. Normally I'm about a 1-a-day dumbness. Lately,
You're doing all right.
What was it you said in Slack or something? You were trying to find something and you would normally, I'm not this stupid.
sounds about right.
Like, normally, what?
Oh.
What's up, Boo Boo?
What's the matter?
All right.
Oh, somebody's got a hot head.
Hot head.
J is for snowflake. That's good enough for me.
Okay, there we go.
Melanie, are you going to be a big sister soon? I'm super excited for that. Yep. I got a head nod. That was awesome.
Very slight head nod. Are you ticklish?
CPU 2K6, which is difficult to say,
Are you ticklish?
misses the discussions main topic segment.
We haven't done one of those in a while.
A long time. I don't think we've done one this year so far,
We
right?
suck so much, we've had guests on every week
Yeah, so sorry.
this year so far.
It's so terrible of us.
Mama.
No, but I do like the topics like that too. Yeah,
And what he's asking isn't that unreasonable? Like maybe doing one of those once a month or something like that.
I'm sure it'll come
Oh.
up soon because I think we're running out of guests. So yeah.
maybe we should have spread the guests out.
Whatever he said.
Or like every other week.
Oh yeah, you can't hear Mike, can you?
Nope.
Mike is referring back to the CPU comment, just in general, saying like going back to once a month.
Do you want your thingy and a thing?
No.
Okay. All right.
I want to go play in the dark and be at my console like I know I am.
That's right. I'm going to so that I can hear what Mike has to say because I haven't heard Mike's voice in a long time.
Nice curls,
What
Shirley.
it sounds like, really.
Yeah, that's my
Well, thanks.
That's your hair?
Nice to hear yours, Kitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was orange.
She went.
Nice.
Brush down, she was done.
Yeah.
Like
I like
that's
it.
not.
I brushed my hair, but I had to straighten it, so now I don't have curls. But we have bangs that match.
I have two rubber bands if you want to let.
Someone from Arion Space.
She's getting all kinds of snuggling all up on my arm.
Yeah, you
Must be nap time.
It'd be nice to actually get some more information from someone from Arion Space to find out what the progress is of the riots going on down in Kuro.
Yeah.
Mike!
Yeah, yep.
Yups.
Will we ever do an
You got it?
interview with Arion Space? We would love to do an interview with Arion Space. Does anybody have contact information? We would love to do an interview with Arion Space. Does anybody have contact information?
I think you got picked up okay. They're not that directional.
The volume of everyone in the room has dropped significantly because Ben left.
Yeah, we didn't have to talk over Ben anymore.
What?
Exactly. Holy cannoli, as it
Well,
were.
his mic was probably an extra
Mommy,
sound picker-upper for the room, so.
His mic is always an extra sound picker up.
mommy.
What's up, kiddo? Can you say, Alexa, please play Twinkle Twinkle?
Hey, don't don't turn it.
She's not there yet. We're only on.
Hey, where's the seagull?
We're only on.
Did I see?
There's Z. What's the Z one for?
You need some more water in your pen.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's still something there.
Yeah,
Still
is there
something
something there?
You want some more water?
Here, let me help you.
So,
That worked really well. That was awesome. Now you can draw with your fingers. Look. Well, maybe not. Wow, that just like soaks it up really good. This is the best book ever.
Max knows the guy.
I got Target.
You got it at Target?
No, I got Target.
Oh, that's what I said.
Check wire.
Yeah. It's harder with the pacifier in the mouth, but you know. Hey, thanks.
Dad, I got check wire for you bit.
Yeah, you gotta go see Mama for some more water.
Mama,
Can I have more water, please? Gotta say it.
can I have some more water?
Peace.
That a girl.
Mess up your brush here. Come here. You probably can't get it open because I tightened it. Sorry, Mama's got the duster. There's still water.
So, what are we doing, guys? I know Ben's working on the lights right now, and that's important, but it seems like
You trying to get
it's
rid of
kind
us?
of stopped the purpose of us getting together and talking about the show.
Yep, I agree with that. That's a great question. I'm working on trying to find lights for these. I've got a guy.
I think I spent like maybe $40 on my lights.
Well, the nice thing is that once Ben buys more lights, then you could probably have the old ones, knowing him.
The hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
Which is still better than and more expensive than anything I've ever owned. Gotta love CFLs.
Yeah. That would be crazy, Neuropilot. If a flight to Mars ends up being cheaper than a like Manhattan apartment soon, or like relatively. I mean, in our lifetime, can you imagine that?
See, the thing is,
I mean, I guess so we just watched Passengers recently.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have.
Have you seen Passengers? Either one of you?
I actually
Okay.
liked it, by the way.
So it was
more than I thought.
it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
The storyline was kind of
The storyline actually surprised me. I thought it was gonna be super cheesy. And
Sure.
It had a different angle than I thought it would.
I thought it was going to be more Beauty and the Beast, but it's fine. But one of the plot lines, like the whole reason that they're on this ship going to this other planet that is however million, bazillion, quadrillion light years upon light years away, is Earth is like way overpopulated, right? And so it's become this like business for these companies to settle these other planets. Okay, so I forget the name of the company. So this company X, right, for lack of a better, not trying to make an inference, like really just, I don't remember what it was named, has found this planet, and it is habitable. We figured that part out, right? It's planet, what is it, Kerbal? right?
Yes.
And
Kerbin.
and people can live there. Humans can sustain life there, and so you give up everything, right? Because by the time you get there, and you want to send an email back, it's 20 years later. Like everyone you know is dead. It's totally gone. That's a little face. And so you give up everything to do this, and you do have to pay some sort of money like in, but essentially like you get set up with all of the things, all of the basics. So it's like this entire community's worth of, it's like a few thousand people are on this ship. That's a little face. See him? And
Hey, that's just a rocket.
I've got a rocket too. Cool, huh?
Yeah, that's new one.
Yeah, that's a male one.
Oh, what's that?
That is chrome. I don't know what else to answer.
What's that?
That's like a bad flower. And that's like a pretty flower. Yeah, that one. Right there, that one.
What's that?
That's a shield.
No, that.
Oh, those are music notes.
Yeah.
What's that?
This one?
Yeah,
That's FaceTime.
what's that?
That's a calendar. I get the feeling we're going to do this a little while.
That.
That's Word.
How many more apps to go?
Like 4. We should be good. She's skipping like every other one. It's awesome. What is that? That is Siri.
Okay.
Okay. That is, it's a gear. Okay. That's my cup.
You know what that does then for me, then, is that makes it so I can literally
No,
light
what's
it.
that?
That's an A.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is you control it.
Good talk. Right. So you're basically making the sacrifice. That's O.
I just use a cat 5 RJ40.
To go and help populate this other planet, right? So, but the thing is, like,
3 minute long.
I know it's been, I know it's fine. So the Chris Pratt character is like he's not in construction per se, but he's very good with his hands and mechanical and has been trained.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, it is a character, and the what's her name? Scarlett Johansson, I think is who it is. Character is a who is it?
Not J-Lo, but Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lopez. Jeez, they're all the same. J-Law.
J-Lo, thank you.
Whatever. The
Jennifer Lawrence.
blonde one who's not blonde, as opposed to the brunette one who's also not blonde, as opposed to the blonde one who plays brunettes all the time. It doesn't matter. Her. She's a journalist. And she's a writer, actually, right? So she's giving up everything to be like the very first writer to tell the story of the people who are doing this thing. And he's like, look, there was no money for me at home, and everything is just automatic. Like, there's nothing for me to work with my hands on. There's no trade on Earth. And now I can go, and like his big deal was like, I can build a house, right? So I think at some point, it may be cheaper, it's like you're saying, for a trip to Mars or wherever than it would be in a Manhattan apartment. But the converse might also be true. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be, like right now it's way more expensive to go to Mars or wherever, or Kerbin. But you're right, at some point it might be cheaper to live off planet than it is to live on this planet. Manhattan or Duluth or otherwise, right?
You actually have to be able to integrate it into an existing computer instead of an iPad? No, Luminaire is kind of iPad only.
Is it going to be tomorrow over Easter weekend?
Yes, because Easter's on Sunday.
It's super easy.
But Easter weekend.
Yes, because Easter's on Sunday.
When is that?
Next Sunday.
Okay.
Good talk. Yeah, it's April 16th.
This Sunday?
Easter is April 16th.
Okay.
And our show will be on the 15th.
Our
The
show will be on the
Homestead
15th.
Corporation.
Oh, yeah, no, just post that. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so what we could do is let's figure out a way
And City's
to
premiere on the 15th, yes.
integrate an Intech box into an existing network that then the iPad just needs to log into that network.
I've got an existing network here as well, so we'll see.
Cities is going to be hosted in Seattle.
For me, understanding that I have much more.
Who else is involved in that besides Chris?
Let's do the Quasar demo.
Define involved.
Like, who else is on
Who's going to
camera?
be hosting? Chris?
Is Chris the only person on camera?
Honestly, I'm not sure I know the answer to that question.
Yes, that's what I don't see anything.
necessarily need. Because like, what's the wide camera look like here?
If you want to hear somebody that's
Oh,
out there.
these are all
Cameras,
straight up.
interesting cities, a little
I think what we
bit.
need to do, based on, sorry, I got a cable there. I think,
Hi, Mike.
Does the wide ever see the top of the set?
no, we try not to. Right, this is about as high as we go. It's all designed. so
Hi.
that we designed it so that the extra room on the bottom. And
Mike, say
Mike,
hi.
you should talk because Dada's listening.
Baby does.
Hello. Oh, you can hear me now?
Well, no, she can't. Sorry, little Dada.
Oh, mini Dada.
But you should
Hello.
also still wave to her because it's funny.
So this is why I want to rebuild the planet and stretch it all the way over. But
I'm
based on
Mini
the
Dada.
lighting costs, we won't be able to do that for a while.
You hear it?
Oh, she says hi.
Hi.
I think it's, yeah, it's not my light set.
So cute.
It just comes out of there.
All right, Dada, you want to try Cities demo now? I think we're off the computer.
Yeah, Cities Dada. Cities Dada.
Cities demo? Yeah. Let's get the tech going for that.
Okay.
Same thing comes out of that one.
Ping Chris, make sure he's ready.
Chris, are you ready for a Cities demo? And then Melanie's talking about how she heard it in her ear, and that's awesome.
Glad she didn't hear it in her eyes.
She's super excited about it too. Daddy, I hear it in my ear, she says. Chris says he's ready.
All right,
You guys are going to use the guest channel, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your microphone's still off.
Tell Mike we have to. It's still on.
Mike knows that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Bye.
I'm off. I've been off the whole time.
I said off.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said on.
Do I have a Skype address for Chris?
Upper screen.
I know.
That's amazing.
This new one. The new one.
All wanted a dynamite? Now you got it. Now it's a double dynamite.
She's pressing buttons.
Is she pressing buttons?
Yes, she is.
That's
can see
kind
her
of
pressing
amazing.
buttons.
I can hear it.
The show's really gotten better with the new director.
Overview shows. Jason, explain.
Can you push that one? Thank you. I'll leave that one there.
That.
No.
Yeah, that lights that extremely well. Is that a 4-foot?
It's a 4-footer.
You just need one of those for that whole
For
section.
either side.
Yeah. In fact, if you were to back it up just a little bit, that might be able to get these 3. Yeah, like
But
there.
then you're going to cast shadows.
Well, but remember the back set.
Gonna
the
be
back
bright
set's
enough.
Gonna be lit itself as
Okay.
well. So
I mean, that is really effing bright. So, in fact, this needs to.
remember that's the thing about going to DMX is
Yeah,
them
I
dimming.
understand.
Yeah,
So-
you can also like turn the curve a bit of it. Like if this becomes so this
Actually,
is,
yeah. If you
that's
do that,
actually a straight backlight
I
now.
got
And
a
then you have
cheaper
a-
one in that.
yeah, you get a
We're
ring
not
light,
using
too.
that as hair light, and
Yep.
I'm getting it on a set.
Yeah. So you might not need
I think you're right.
4s in the background. You
I think
just
I need like one of those, an 8, and then another one on that side. And I don't think I need the 2x4s at all.
No,
Oh, yeah.
agreed. Okay.
And if it's putting on.
Because that drops like $3 or $4 grand, I think, right? No,
Yeah,
it drops
let me get a list.
$2 grand. Yeah, $3 grand.
And if that's that bright and you bring your key lights up that much, you can stop the cameras down a little bit too.
Yes, that would help.
Yeah.
Well, again,
It
there's
is
smaller.
yeah.
I don't know that we need to stop it. We just don't have. The
Damn.
cameras are
Facial
incapable
capture
of
for
really
a
making
A shot of the
video.
Nice.
Yep,
all
yep.
be controlled together. So you literally we'd have like a still from the movie. We'd have our actor sit in the center. You'd light it based off of
Hi, Chris.
based off of the plate. And then
I like how we get all the.
bags and fire effects and everything.
That's crazy.
Hang on a minute. I need to make sure that I'm connected with the right things. Can you see us?
I have video and audio.
Set up cameras.
Okay, so I need to. Well, so this is just the built-in camera. I mean, built-in. Sorry,
Three cameras.
audio. So I'm going to switch to the wacky mic.
Let's see if it works.
All right. So Okay, and now we need to figure out how to make the camera stay on. That'll be
Yeah.
so I can hear myself. Can you guys still hear me on the other end?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's asking, do you want to show other participants a video? Do I want that? Yes, always show or no?
Are you talking about Skype setup?
Skype setup.
I'm not sure what Skype Skype
so
needs to be set up.
I'm going to say yes for this. Okay, now I see you guys. And start using this is for chats. Full screen. So I just need to figure out what I'm. Don't want to show contacts. No, that's not what I want. Where's my conversation now? I just lost it.
Right in the middle.
There it is. So I don't want to show it. Sidebar.
Don't touch those either.
Oh wait, no. Full screen. Nope. Dang it. Not. Skype is showing me less everything I type. Hold on.
So I
Okay, go
think
ahead.
from Skype I'm getting everything as far as video and audio that I need from you. The only thing is you still got all the icons and stuff such on the camera.
Yeah, so that's actually one of the things. So I have no idea how to operate this camera. So what should I press in order to shift it out of
I'm
this
gonna go
preview
to
mode?
Taqueria de Anda on the way home.
You're going where?
Taqueria de Anda.
Benjamin.
You been on Taqueria de Anda?
No.
Up on Catella?
No.
Benjamin.
Oh, it's like the best, like the best Mexican joint in
Ugh, Mexican. All right. Chris, hit the screen, I think, is a touch screen, so you want to hit function in the upper left-hand corner.
And function.
And then you want to hit, let's see here, I believe it is menu. Scroll, let's see here. I can't remember where it is. You should be able to scroll this screen. It's super sensitive. Try going up the other way.
Touching it.
Should I be connecting you to people through your SpaceX?
No, for this, you use TMRO. It's Benjamin at TMRO.tv.
On-screen markers.
Where do you see that? Oh yeah, on screen. That's off. Click the gear or the wrench icon. Top, middle. There you go. Put on-screen displays. Click that, and turn that off. Boop. All right, so your on-screen displays are off now. You may want to actually turn that back on temporarily so I can see your menus again. I didn't think this through.
Yeah, let me
because
go
I think your
back.
camera went into demo mode and automatic power mode. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, we need to turn
it
all of
did.
that off. By the way, hello patrons. This is what we do. I'm about to spend a lot of money to light this set really well. A lot of money. It's relative. For a show like us.
Yeah.
I'd say it's still.
Although you said you had a option for lights. That
There we
might
go.
be cool.
Let me show you. This is a guy that builds. So these are. Okay, here he's got these a strip panel, kind of like what that is. Only.
Yep.
Yeah, and he said that is 10K, I think, and 1,000 hertz.
All right. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Indie Systems?
All right, Chris, we need to start scrolling down so I can see these menus. No, keep going.
He used to make really good budget
going.
rails for DSLRs and stuff.
Keep going.
And then he kind of like fell off the face of the earth, and now he just decided I'm gonna start building studio lights out of
keep
LEDs.
going.
It's like you're making it force spin.
Power saving mode. Click into that for me. Auto power off. Turn that off.
It's 10 grand for that.
Okay. Go
10K
back.
lumens, not 10K. He's super cheap. Like that'd probably be like $400 or something. As far as
Scroll
budget
down.
lighting, I mean, he's,
Yeah.
and he'll send us stuff for
Free.
Keep going.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like everything. That
Demo
I
mode.
work
Click on
with
that.
In the film world is like, it's a little bit more expensive.
Turn
So
off.
It's always like,
back.
It's gonna be in the rain. It's gonna be able to, you know.
for sure.
But I don't need that, is the
No,
thing,
yeah.
right? So,
That's
but I really
the
like
thing
the thing with the quasars in the background is you're able to stick them into those.
Yeah.
So we're definitely doing those. That's the thing that's happening
Yeah.
basically no matter what. So those are going to happen. Then the question is, what do I do for the foreground? And I like the idea of the not Kino.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like those will. It's just like a solid built system, you know. It'll last for a long time.
I don't necessarily need it. So I would love to know what the pricing is on those, but I'd still like to move forward with the
I'm
quick.
gonna get you the quote on all
That'd be great. All right, Chris, you should. Right
see
now,
that
your
we're
camera should
in
no
the
longer
studio.
power off. It should no longer go into demo mode, and the displays aren't on the screen anymore.
Oh, you know what? Karen can't hear what you're saying.
Nothing.
There you go.
I mean,
We're gonna do the high-tech version of us both having.
It was a
in-ear.
4-footer there, a 4-footer there, and then like another. What you gonna?
4 4-footers, right?
Something like that, because you're gonna put one over there, and then we need to figure out this part of the planet. All right, can you tap on your? Is that a Yeti?
Yes.
Can you tap on that? I don't think we're hearing that. Oh, maybe we are. I can't tell. No, that we're definitely not. We're getting, I think, built-in audio.
Okay. Let me switch Skype. It may have not actually. Thing is, I'm actually hearing the output through the Yeti, which tricks me into thinking that it's using that. Skype preferences, audio video. Microphone Yeti stereo microphone is what it says.
Let's terminate the call and call back. Maybe it didn't get locked into that microphone. And Space Mike, are
let
you
me
still?
just try something really quick. So I'm going to hit mute on the Yeti microphone.
Okay.
You tell me if you keep hearing me.
Yep. sounds
So
good.
it's not muted. It's not.
Oh no, you muted. That's definitely the Yeti.
It's not muted. It's not muted.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not muted.
Yeah,
Okay.
we heard you mute. So that is the Yeti. I probably will want to do some sound absorption. If Space Mike's available, can you put him in the guest channel? This will emulate a real setup for cities where Chris is doing his thing, and then he'll have a guest, and we'll see if they can talk to each other.
I think he's.
Oh, you think he's gone?
Well, we actually were going to give
He still shows online.
young Benjamin Radcliffe a try.
Oh.
We can have him go into the other room and Skype in. Do you have a Skype account?
I do.
Okay, so we can Skype in with Karen's account.
Okay, yeah, that works well. Mr. Bing.
You want me to?
So Ben can't hear you. He can see you. So if you
This
if
is
you
live,
wave
so
Benjamin.
this is live, so you are announcing that to the world. You want to Slack me a user account?
Oh, yes, actually. So I'm going to give this to Karen.
In the meantime, I have.
You mean we're not having just a quiet little fireside chat here?
It's not
Okay,
just
what I'll do
between.
is I'll just do that on.
It's not just between us.
It's just you and all your very best friends.
All right, and so you type in what your Skype is, it'll show you that.
So that's
And
one of.
be sure to say it out loud as you're typing it too, so everybody hears it as well.
Yeah.
So that's one of the downsides of this Skype box is. Oh, I can receive calls. Here we go.
So is it just
I'm receiving a call.
more than I do?
Tap that.
Oh, from my.
There you go. It's that. Mm-hmm.
No, he was joking.
So what I was hoping we could do is test this setup with Karen and me first to make sure that we've got good audio from the microphone. We can test it in a couple of versions. Yeah, that's the one. And then we can, because I'm going to need to allocate some of this hardware for the call with young Benjamin to test the guest, who is slightly off camera but still crowing like a rooster, and so you can still hear him. So that tells me that I need to make sure that he's not in the room.
Yep.
How's the audio sound otherwise?
It's a little roomy. It's not bad though, right? I can you can pretty clearly hear him, right? You're happy with the quality.
I mean, he's Chris level of chill. But
That's true.
Yes.
But I'm hearing a little bit of room. Maybe we can send you some film or something to try to take some of that room.
Yeah, that's actually something that So when you say you're hearing room, are you hearing things going on in the room that I need to kick somebody out, or are you hearing the echo of the room?
I'm hearing the echo of the room. I'm hearing the sound bounce off the wall and back into the microphone a little bit. It's not bad. I mean, it's certainly acceptable.
Let me try.
But
The gain's really way down on this because I found that otherwise it actually picks up everything.
Yep.
But I'm going to turn it down even further and see. That's the gain all the way down actually on this microphone. So
actually, that might be better. Keep talking for me.
So that's with the gain all the way down. It picks up me tapping on the iPad a little bit
I might be able to
less.
get you a mat for that.
Okay, good. Oh, actually, Matt has a good point. I can put this on
Actually, you know what? And you're going into the computer via USB, right?
And who is still crowing in the background. But that's with a Matt. So.
Chris, is he ready for a call?
So again, what I wanted to do is just make sure that we had the audio going here. And if we can run through, I don't know if you've had a chance to even look through that rundown that I kind of hacked up. Not to actually go through that, but to just talk in a normal voice about the things that we're actually talking about, so I know I'm not blowing the thing out when I actually speak.
Yeah,
So, for instance, when I say, and welcome to Tomorrow Cities, and I'm going to make little hand motions when I do that, and welcome to Tomorrow Cities, episode 0, on this date that I'm not going to mention because that makes it hard. I am your host, Chris Radcliffe, and with me today is the beautiful and talented... I'm not going to use that because that's a Ben thing. And joining me today is the brilliant and talented
I'm gonna hit
Karen.
you if you say that.
The brilliant and talented Karen Radcliffe. You can say hello into that camera there because actually, can you see the camera? Can the camera see you?
Camera can see me, can not see Ben because he's back there.
And I've got a big Skype logo on my head. Is that going to be that way when we broadcast?
What you see coming out of ME1 program box is what goes out to the
This
world.
one. So you don't have it on.
ME1 program is the one on the right.
Oh, there it is. So yes, you have Skype on your forehead.
I've got Skype on my forehead.
No, there's no, there is no Skype on your forehead. There's a Skype logo.
Oh no, sorry.
What we're feeding you is via Skype, and it's the Skype overlay is on that.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. There's also enough of a delay on that I need to just not pay attention to it. So with that hello, did that work out? Oh, I don't have a document here, actually. I would need to figure out how this. So I don't think we're going to do the actual run through because I just realized that it's going to take me 5 minutes just to get to the run through. But then I guess we can talk about those things over the course of the week, or do you want to talk about those right now, Dada, in terms of the media that I put in that folder for those news items?
What I missed which folder that was.
So it's in the Tomorrow Cities team folder thing, and there's the rundowns folder, and then there's the show media folder.
All right. Do you have access to the shared drive tomorrow show media?
I don't think so.
We'll check on that. That's an automatic dump into my Casper box.
Ah, okay.
And
that's
so,
good.
So I think I'd prefer Cities stuff to go in there, and then I can just load it directly into the computer instead of having to transfer.
All right, so that's something that we can mess with.
I can
offline.
absolutely transfer all this.
Okay. So before I excuse Karen and we switch over to the interview mode, Benjamin Higginbotham, is there anything that you would like me to change in terms of the lighting, where the camera is positioned, where other things are positioned, where the microphone is positioned?
Will it be both you and Karen, or will it just be you?
So my ideal is that it will be both me and Karen doing the news because it means that we can have that conversation.
Yeah, that makes sense. Can you zoom out on the camera at all? Or do you run into
I should be able
borders?
to, yeah. Let me
I want to give you guys a little bit more breathing room in that shot.
Oh, we don't need to breathe.
Also, I like that it's a green background. It coordinates with the show.
Yeah, oops, that's the wrong direction. So there's this.
We could just physically move the stand back as well.
So that's zoomed out a little bit.
Yeah, that feels better. I feel like you've got a little bit more stuff and things. Yeah, and we'll drop some banners at the bottom. Yeah.
We're connected, so.
Oh yeah, sorry
where you go,
about
I
that.
go.
I've seen that episode.
Yeah,
of
we're
Star
gonna need
Trek.
to get you a Y splitter, I think, to get you so you can each have your own earbuds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Karen, Karen, can you talk for me for a little bit?
Sure, I can talk for you. I can talk all day long. I can talk about how I'm going to need to make sure that Ben's not in this room because he has the urge to just say random words. And, crowing and fish.
Okay,
may or may
so
not be able to
we're definitely going to have to do something about. We can work with this for the pilot. We're going to have to do something about the room audio, just the ambience, and we're also getting any movement. The thumping on the table is translating into the microphone, so I'm getting a really low frequency, like goom, goom, with anything you do. Yeah, oomph, 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 oomph. So we just need to isolate that and get rid of that. In general, though, it will work. So especially for a pilot episode, everything we're seeing right now is absolutely acceptable. And then from there, we can just make incremental improvements as necessary to kind of really hone that in.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. Everyone else.
Yeah. So we'll talk about what we can do to muffle this a little bit, both in terms of the table connection.
Yeah.
This is just it's not on a shock mount or anything.
Yeah, it's just right up into the microphone is what's happening there.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if I can maybe get you like some lapels or something. I don't know. I need to figure out how we're going to deal with that because you're going USB into the computer, and that's.
They're saying Marnix Jansen is saying the Yeti is in the wrong mode.
The Yeti's in the wrong mode. They're saying. What mode should it be in?
It looks like that bottom switch is probably like your figure eight, omnidirectional, all that stuff.
Yeah, and so right now what I've got it in is stereo.
Okay.
And
what are the modes available?
I would say.
So it's got a stereo mode. I will turn it into full omnidirectional.
No, we're not going to want omni.
Right. So that's you hear.
We're going to want more of a cardioid.
So there's a cardioid mode.
Ooh, that's getting better.
Right.
What's the last mode over there?
So hang on. Let's both talk in cardioid. That was the thing that I was worried about, is that we wouldn't hear both of us.
It's interesting. These terms are words that I
This
have
is
never
much
heard
better.
before.
This is much better.
Yeah.
So I really want to know what they mean now.
Okay, so that's cardioid.
Yep.
And we can have. So cardioid, it's. I'll show you the diagrams of it. It's actually kind of fun. It means that it basically shifts it to a heart-shaped pattern. Cardio.
Okay.
That's.
It looks like a butt.
Ah.
It's not a gluteoid mode.
No, they could call it gluteoid. Gluteoid, and then it would be.
It's a hardioid.
Does
I
that
tell hawks are gluteos.
does that
so
pick
they
up
could
less
be
of the table
gluteoid.
banging around?
Yeah, that. No matter what mode the microphone's in, that's going to translate into the microphone.
Yeah. Actually, let me see if this pad actually, if I apply it instead to the
was
I'm
microphone
sorry, and what's
itself.
the last mode over here?
Oh, and then the last mode I forgot is that's actually that's like proper interview mode. It's basically it's gonna pick up only the on axis, but it's both directions on axis.
No, that's not
So
as good.
you-
Cardioid was better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Marnix.
Yeah,
So is it
Marnix.
any
Thank you, Marnix.
pad?
Yeah, not really.
Not
Seems
really.
to be picking that up anyway.
Okay.
No, we need to
But,
get you a real. There are actual acoustical pads that are designed to get rid of that thump. That
Yeah.
I'll work on getting you something.
Okay.
And then for camera, you guys are not centered in frame. If you want the two of you centered.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
let's see. I need to move it more toward Karen.
Maybe we could just move our chairs. Okay, that's. See, now you're cut.
That's better.
Oh no, not on the bottom. You're not. Just
So-
on that one.
Actually.
So which one are we going for?
That other. Wait, picking up. That's behind you.
Oh, what is?
Oh no, sorry. That's this. There's a laptop sitting there.
Oh. Okay.
That looks better.
That better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, Skype makes it look cut off, but I think
It does.
in camera I can see it. It's
Okay.
it's a little bit better.
If you want to queue, you can look at what you see on the TV on camera too.
Yes, yeah. So that's good. Got a good Mon Pa kettle thing going
yes,
there.
Exactly.
Pitchfork.
Pitchfork.
We can't both hold the pitchfork.
We can't.
That would be,
Oh,
That's
like
right.
mines. You guys haven't been married for very long or anything, have you?
No, not at all.
Nope. What? Going on 19 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So the
Anyway.
story that I think we'll actually use for the actual pilot show that we were talking about this morning is about bus stops. So that's the level of excitement that we're going to bring to this show. We're talking about bus stops. But it's fun. Singapore, I mean, just a little preview. Singapore is actually, well, do you want to tell it?
Well, Singapore is starting this program, and I don't know much about the program in general, but it's they're turning it into, what's the term they used? It's not modern city. It's
a smart city.
Smart
program.
city. And so they have taken a bus stop in one of their cities that's kind of their test city, and they've created it as a place that you want to be. It's got a green roof, and it's got a little mini lending library, and places to charge your phone for free, and they're using solar panels to offset the electricity. Lots more benches. There's a swing, like a swing set swing. And you can check out electronic versions of books from the library as well.
Which makes me wonder how long they're actually expecting you to be
Exactly.
in this.
There's there's also an interactive trip planning kiosk, and what was the other thing that they had? But they really do seem to be creating a space that is welcoming. Oh, they have electronic sensors to tell when the garbage is full and needs to be emptied.
I didn't see that. That's pretty cool.
So it really seems like they're trying to create a space that welcomes people, and people want to hang out there while they're waiting for their bus.
Indeed.
Yeah. Which I really like, because it makes me want to go take the bus. It doesn't feel like wasted time while I'm waiting for my bus to arrive. I can charge my phone, I can check out some books, I can, I don't know, swing on the swing.
Plan your trip.
I can plan my trip.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, are you in the chat right now, the proper chat?
The proper chat. I believe I'm in the proper chat.
Okay.
Which
So
these are
I
all new to
think-
me, so.
there are a lot of chat things.
Yes.
So my thought is that Karen would be in the chat, because now that I don't have my glasses on, I am completely blind. He says reading a thing anyway. But Karen can be in the chat and can then, prompt things from the chat. Is it better for her to be, because there are now a lot of channels here, like Proper Tomorrow or Tomorrow Twitch, or all of them switching back and forth?
Switch back and forth between Tomorrow and Tomorrow Twitch, and then the things that she highlights with the blue, we usually do the blue circles.
Okay.
And then that will go into the Tomorrow hosts channel. So if you have an opportunity to, Chris, read the host channel, you will see just the things that are highlighted in blue and red, and then you hit red and it will pop up into the host channel, and it kind of gives you a highlight so that you can differentiate, and then you can mark them with white or the check mark on the far side to get rid of them. So apparently,
So I would be checking them on here, and then when you're done, you check them off.
So if you go to the Tomorrow chat and find something, so how about Carrie Ann's? Try the blue one.
This one here?
No, I meant the pink.
The pink one.
And you
This
go
one.
like that.
I see.
And then if you look at the hosts, so
That one down there. And that one.
yep. So Carrie Ann in the chat says you can push items into the host chat via the circles, like that.
I see.
does that make
All this
sense?
fancy technology you guys have.
I know.
We're just simple Seattleites.
You're Seattle transplants.
We are
Yes.
transplants. We haven't even established roots yet.
Yeah, we had to sign a document of simplicity in order to do
Yeah.
that, though. So
Yeah, we're like those tomato bags hanging on somebody's porch, where the tomatoes are hanging out the bottom.
That's awesome.
Taking a look around.
yeah, I have no response to that. All right. Anything else that you wanted to test out with us in the two-person mode?
No, I just,
Send Ben over to Skype view.
typically we would connect ahead of time, and I have the ability to switch in between, so I can switch between Ben and you guys back and forth.
Okay. It's just that we have to use the same computer. Karen's
Gotcha.
computer.
Okay.
So there's a limit to the number of machines we've got here.
All right.
All right. So let's switch to that. Since it's in cardioid, I'm not going to switch this mode. If
So,
you can
but I
grab
can
that.
take this and take Ben out and get him on Skype.
Yeah.
And
Do you want to
he's-
sit on my desk?
Yeah, we'll sit at your desk, and
And he can use these.
and he's calling you.
So what'll happen is Dutta will call
Okay.
your
That's how it works.
Skype.
All right, come on, Ben.
I got my tea.
Off to Daddy's desk. I'll follow you.
So let me switch into interview. Still on screen.
Chris, do you have enough computers to run this show? You're comfortable with having media devices and all that?
It's something that I am pretty good with.
I think
So I'm using my own machine for all of the connections, so the HDMI in from the camera, as
Right.
well as it's got network in and the microphone. That's my own lappy, and so I'm using Mr. iPad for show notes and stuff. But I don't think I need anything else.
Does Karen's using her own laptop, so you're not dependent on that one?
So Karen's going to use her own laptop for her own interactions with the chat.
Okay, so you've got plenty of devices.
Yes.
Okay.
How's the tech
Until
working for you, Chris? Like, I realize there's a little delay on the screen, but overall right now, we're able to communicate clearly. You understand what we need from you. Like, this part of it's working okay?
Yeah, it's been good with that conversation back and forth. It's nice to have Dutta in my head because there's that kind of secure and confident feeling that you get.
Aww. All right, so calling Karen.
You're gonna have to figure out which of these things you mean what.
Hey.
The live
Hello?
show. Hello, can you hear me, Ben?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I have audio but no
you're in-
video.
Hey, Ben, can you start the video on your Skype?
Yeah, and you'll need to pull the cover off the camera too.
It's not on the camera.
There you go.
We have audio. and
Hello,
video.
me.
Hello.
All right, here's what we should do at this point. Chris and Ben, you guys should have a conversation. And then Studio Anaheim should mute itself at this point.
All right, so Anaheim is muted. Hey, Ben.
Hi,
So
Daddy. I've got tea.
Indeed. With me here in Seattle is Benjamin Radcliffe. Benjamin Radcliffe lives in a city and would like to go to Mars someday, and likes to play with Lego as well and design spaceships. So thanks for joining us here on Tomorrow, Benjamin.
Good to be here.
So I really wanted to talk to you here today about just some random stuff about cities. First of all, what city are you in?
Seattle.
In Seattle. And so what's your favorite thing about Seattle?
I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Probably.
Is there anything? Go ahead.
Probably I'm not sure, actually. Maybe the walkability? I'm not sure. Or that kind of thing. Movie theaters?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
And if you could change one thing about your city, what would you change?
Definitely add a citywide monorail system that hovers.
Citywide hovering.
maglev, basically.
Yeah, I think I can get behind that as well. I would support that measure. And so, of the cities that you've been to, what's your favorite city?
Hmm. I'm not sure. There's a lot of nice ones out there.
Remember this morning when I showed you these questions and you said I would think about those things.
Ah, yeah.
So what cities have you been to?
A lot of them, like London, Paris, Cork. I like Cork. Vancouver, Anaheim, I'm San Diego, Dublin. Overall, I like Cork a lot. Cork.
Yeah. What
also like-
strikes you about Cork?
It's Irish. It's in the sea. It's cool. But I also like Edinburgh a lot.
What's one thing you can remember about Edinburgh?
It's got fun. It's got a giant thing that looks like a spaceship, or is that Dublin? I don't remember. I think it's Edinburgh. Yeah, it's Edinburgh.
Neat. Yeah, I remember that spaceship. I think that was the Scott Memorial.
Yeah, it was. Whoa. Dropped my headphones, sorry.
So I'm talking. Hang on, everyone. Sorry, I'm doing some technical testing behind the scenes for some magic. So give me 1 second, everyone.
Magic.
What? Yes.
So Ben, can you hear me? So Benjamin Bing, did you hear a word?
Nope.
Maybe a fruit?
You. Thanks, everyone. All right,
All
you
right.
guys. Hang on. Did you guys get enough testing, Chris, for like latency and conversational tone?
Yeah, absolutely. It was actually nice to be able to hear Ben in the other room and then coming through. It sounds like there's a couple of seconds of latency, so I just need to get used to that.
Is it full seconds of latency, or is it like a second?
So Benjamin Bing, what would you say your least favorite color is?
Pink. Actually, no, not pink. Blue. I have no idea.
I'd say about a second and a half of latency.
That's pretty harsh.
Yeah, I'm guessing that it's probably Skype plus also Skype. Now, Ben's connection is on Wi-Fi, but
No, that's okay. Are you going to be able to deal with that, or do I need to focus on finding ways to pull that latency down?
I think we'll try it for at least the pilot, and the second guest that I'm thinking of is going to be in the studio, which was the other reason why I wanted to test the two-person version of that. Okay. And so I think we can bring somebody in two-person to give us some extra time. That'll give us an extra month or whatever if the first interview is disastrous because of the latency.
All right, awesome. Cool.
Neat. Well, thank you so much, Benjamin Radcliffe, for being on the show and Larger Than Life. And I hope to see you again in the future.
Hope to see you again, too.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye. I will hit it.
And then, Dada, did you want to go over the process for numbering things for news and whatnot so that he knows how that all goes, or did you already show him?
No. So, Chris, what I do for the space show is, I don't know if you've been able to see our rundowns, but you've got in your rundown K01 and C02.
Yes.
So the file names, I don't care what the file names are, except they start with 02 and like an underscore 01 for the first image in that story, and the second image would be 01 underscore 02. And you can name them whatever you want, so that they
yeah.
sort
So the files that I put into the Tomorrow Cities show media folder.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, I'll put them in the folder that you have access to. were those named correctly?
So you have 01_01 Singapore bus stop, Singapore. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and so those are in the order that I was hoping they would be displayed, during the news segment.
Right. So what that does is it helps me build a rundown. So your stuff sorts correctly. So I just grab the lot and move it over, and it's already sorted. I don't have to, computer sorting.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then you're doing comments too, right?
Yes. Yeah. So we'll do comments, and Karen will come back for those. So in the rundown,
C01,
I've got-
C02, or something like that, so that they group together, and I can do it that way.
So that's a good question. Am I building the slates for those comments, or is that something that somebody else does, or that is magically happening?
Do you require assistance with it?
I will appreciate assistance with it, but it's something that once I learn how to do, I can do. I don't think I've got any of the software tools to build those slates.
We can give you access to the software tools. It's currently a manual process. If you have where the comment came from, if it was on Patreon or YouTube, you want to provide links, I can help build media. If you give me something by Thursday afternoon or so, I can build slates for you.
Okay. Yeah, so I think maybe for the pilot, we'll there aren't a ton of comments, and
Right.
so we can if you can help me with building those slates, and then I can learn how to do that.
So if you're aiming to format the show similar to Space, we usually do 4 to 6 news stories. 4 to 6 news stories, and then the interview, and then between 4 or 5 or 6 comments, depending on how long you want to talk about them. Usually ends up to be just about 13 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking at. So for pilot, I'm going to have 6 news stories available. We'll do the interview. Actually, sorry, 6 news stories. The 1-minute segment, which is the one that I'm just going to mess around with to try to do city design patterns. Then the interview, and then again, 4 to 6 comments. I think I should be able to find 6. Hopefully, somebody's going to speak up on.
If it's a good comment where you can strike up a mini conversation, I find that those are kind of usually the better comments, where you can have a 2.5 minute conversation about it back and forth between you and your hosts or whatever to address it or know I've seen it or argue with it. Sometimes pulling a comment that is more argumentative or taking a contrary position just for the sake of argument kind of builds a little bit more interest in what the comment is, and I've had comment strains that have gone back and forth over a period of months where somebody brings up another point to that, and somebody else brings up another point, right? So you can kind of get more interest in that in that respect.
And that's actually what I was looking for in the comments, is something that's more of a conversation starter and less of just.
And we've had
somebody makes a comment.
We've had really good comments that actually spark entire shows. So keep that in mind
also
too.
Also true.
And it's not unreasonable to save a comment for the show before the show. So like, so and so was talking about bus stops, and our next show is going to be on bus stops. Tune in to, right? So that gives you a good plug for next
the comment
week.
that I had in the rundown for today, the last comment was, and of course I don't have the rundown in front of me.
Talk about cities on Mars.
Talk about cities on Mars. And so, talk about cities on Mars. And guess what? Next week's show,
exactly.
Our guest will be Vera Miliani from Mars City Design, who will talk about cities on Mars. So good stuff.
Okay, are you comfortable, or do you want to run through a couple of opens, like this is black and here we are.
I see. Okay, so sorry, I'm still trying to.
All right, you see where the VU meters are, the volume meters, the little bouncy things with the lights.
Yeah.
That's your active frame. That's
right,
what's going out to the world.
The trouble is that Skype is actually cutting off about a quarter of the screen because of my own view settings here. I don't know how to get rid of these pieces that are... Let me double check here. Not history. Contacts monitor. No, that's adding. Come on, Skype. Allow me to get rid of these pieces. Because the trouble is that my actual window and also the preview window are now cut off because of that. Previews. Compact. No. Show tab bar. No. All right, I'll still fuss with that later.
Okay. But this is what you're going to get back. And you can see DDR is the image. That's the like Casper images. So DDR down in the bottom corner, it's got the green box around it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so
the DDR part of it is the part that's cut off. So
that's the next image that I've got pulled up. So typically, if we're in an interview, let's see, if we're in an interview and I've got mic up or your guest on with the color bars, and I'm switching back and forth, and you come up with, oh well, let's talk about this image you set. So this ME1 preview is the next thing that I'm going to go to when I hit the cut button. So then it will cut. So now you've got cover. You don't have to be looking at the camera. You don't have to be, you can pick your nose, you can take a drink, right? All of those things while you've got a cover shot. And then as soon as I switch back, that's you.
Oh, you caught me taking a drink.
Exactly. So that's what's available. So you can see down on the bottom where it says Space Mic is your guest. I mean, I can switch them back and forth or whatever if you want. If you want to be on Space Mic channel or you want your guest on guest channel to make it more uniform, that's fine. So are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, that is good. I'm assuming then that the rest of these so let's see.
Camera 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all in Anaheim Studio.
Yep.
And then
this guest is generally going to be me for this, right?
I can do you on Space Mic or guest, whichever makes more sense. If you want me to say space or make Space Mic say host or whatever, then that's what you would be.
Yeah, I think it doesn't necessarily have to say host, but I think me on Space Mic makes more sense because then I can see the guest a little bit more.
Okay.
More easily.
I'll remember that when we call you.
Okay.
And then
SuperSource is what?
SuperSource is an option that I have to be able to combine more than one view. So currently I have it set up to take guest, and which is you, and that's you here.
Mm-hmm.
So I can take you and move you around and make you smaller or bigger. I can crop you out and make you a little Brady Bunch face.
But you don't tend to use that much on the show, huh?
Well, if that's the thing is, if you are in you by yourself. Let's see, this is a terrible view. If you are asking your guest a question, who are you talking to? So until I switch, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So if I use SuperSource instead, so this is we're bringing a guest on. Here's our guest. And then I use this to switch to the guest while they're speaking, and when you ask a question, I'll switch back to the two of you. Right?
Yeah.
That makes the interview a little more fluid, and the guest is on the whole time, and you pop up to answer a question. Guest responds, you pop up to answer a question. Guest responds, pop up to answer a question. Right?
Yeah,
that seems to make more sense as far as displaying people with voices on screen. and so I can set super source up. I'll work with Ben and see if we can. We had a template for the live shows for Space last season, I think, where it had kind of a pretty little graphic to go there to give you an idea what it is that you were watching, etc. So I'll see if we can do something like that.
Cool.
And then if we plan ahead, if you want your guest and an image on screen, SuperSource has the availability to do up to 4 boxes. So box 2 I can make smaller, and then box 3 I can make media, and bring that up there. Right, so you can talk about things on screen or whatever. There's a lot of options there. It's not.
Yeah, we could even have a kind of a key image in the background there, and
right.
the two
Correct.
of us as boxes overlaid on that. Oh, I meant to ask you about the media. We shouldn't need 4K media for this show, correct? So 1080 NEP is what I've been targeting.
That's a Ben question.
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Does his
my
media
question
need to
is-
be 4K, or is 1080 okay?
1080 is okay because we can only accept 1080 on Skype.
But I'm running the media
Oh, yeah. So the media should be 4K if we can.
because everything in going in
So-
needs to be the same.
Yep. It's going to have to be 2160p, 23.9. I have a. Do you have Premiere? What do you use to do your?
I think he needs access to Adobe Suite.
Okay, so I'll get you access to the Adobe Suite, and/or just drop them somewhere for next week's show, and I'll take care of it for you.
Okay, so Chris, whatever media you want, let us know, and we'll help you massage it to get to the size that it needs to be. And in the meantime, we'll work on getting you access to our Adobe Suite.
Yeah.
All of your media is served here, so it does need to be 4K, even though we're only broadcasting in 1080, and all of the recorded on-demand shows will be 1080p.
Okay.
Just because the switcher is doing everything in 4K, everything coming into it has to be the same format.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I won't really sweat having things that'll look great in 4K, but I'll make sure that the end result media is all 4K.
They want to see the split screen. The internet does.
Internet, show the split screen.
Yeah, it's all sketchy, but that's kind of. Well, you know what we'd probably do is create a nice graphic element that it looks cohesive with the Tomorrow look, just like we have the Tomorrow Space split screen. I'll come up with a new look and feel for next week's show.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Okay.
Thanks for paying attention.
You're welcome. Yeah, and so the chat room, I'll start. By the way, have we got most of the tech stuff done for cities, Chris? Do you have any other additional questions, or can I move back?
No, I think we're all set for this.
Great. I'm going to move back to the Hangout for a minute, and just there's some questions on the Space Mike. We just posted a question. If you want to go to social, actually, Dada, I've got it up on the screen. Space
I'm
Mike.
gonna leave Skype. Skype.
All right,
and,
cool.
Go back to the Hangout.
All right, awesome. Thank you,
See you in
Chris.
the chat, everybody.
Thanks.
See you.
Bye.
So Space Mike is wondering, come off on a consensus until we figure something out on the Hangout. So what is the chat been saying about?
It's all in the Tomorrow Host channel.
Oh, I'm in vMix. So
Great. So
that's the other
do
thing.
you want this?
Yeah. So that's the other thing is we're going to have to stop using Tomorrow Host temporarily. Everyone's going to have to use the vMix interface for next week's show.
Okay. Well, here.
Okay. Thank you.
It'll take you a minute because there's a lot.
Wore my Boba Fett t-shirt today.
Yeah, fits in.
I fit in.
Yeah, that's good.
I got up and I was like, I should probably do something.
Geeky, nerdy, spacey.
Something.
Yeah.
Those socks are the best, though.
Yeah, socks are awesome.
I actually have spaceman socks and I forgot to wear them.
Oh no.
I'm an idiot. Well, I think that's because I wore them yesterday.
This makes sense.
Right.
Bike ride. Gross now.
Fido Ryan, consensus on the pods, space pods.
That's interesting. Using the screen to put the.
Oh, that is cool.
I do actually kind of like it with the blue back there.
Mm-hmm.
The blue is nice.
But that's not how it would actually be.
No.
No, that's that's the pancake working.
No, I just meant in space. All right.
It wouldn't be realistic if we
So-
were on a spaceship and that color was out there.
Well, unless the alien is.
It just
Right.
it just looks nice.
It
you know what I mean?
does look nice.
So Blue Glacius, you need to go the other way. You need to support space pods properly. They need 5 a week, inconsistent low volume results and lack of penetration. Okay, but 5 a week, we simply can't afford that. And I'm not sure that we have enough.
Well, not only can we not afford it, they take so much time.
They do. They take a lot of time. So we would need,
even if we had a full team doing it,
yeah, we'd need
take
5
the money
people.
away. We'd have to pay them full time essentially to do it because they take so much time to do it. See
Yeah,
what I'm
I don't.
saying?
I just with tomorrow the size it is, I don't foresee that as a viable option.
Right.
What about using blended pods to promote content across multiple main shows? I don't think I understand the concept of that, but let's. I'm going to mark that as red, and we'll come back to that.
Sure.
Nkofa Muta. I think it would just turn into tomorrow pods instead of tomorrow space pods, if anything. It can be anything. All right, Marnix Jensen. I'd love to have pods integrated into the main show. Don't put them online before, but once the show is done, upload them separately.
That's what we started talking about.
That's an interesting comment.
Right, like
but then
digital
maybe,
sketch in a Saturday Night Live kind of situation.
So Dada has brought this up. Everyday Astronaut has brought this up, and I've kind of seen this in general, which is one of the things we don't do well on the show is history. By design, by the way, that's not like we suck at it. We just purposely, the show's called Tomorrow for a reason. It's not called Yesterday. But
what's the first thing that came out of my mouth?
What?
What's the first thing I said? Go on.
But you have to learn. You have to learn from the past so you don't make those same mistakes in the future. That history is just as important. It's a tricky balancing act, right? So you learn from history, but you can't be stuck in it, right? But we can totally. That was an interesting idea of just bouncing it off the. That was a.
It's just daylight.
I know, but you're feeling fairly well. Although those are going to be black tiles. So we could potentially do.
I distract him easily.
Yeah,
We could
it's okay.
potentially do
Shiny.
a quick history segment. We just got to find a good way to integrate it into the show. That's not like jarring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe live, maybe as a segment.
/ at a certain point, my hesitation with having it in every single show, which it doesn't have to be, but my hesitation in having it in every single show, or even on a regular sort of basis, is that at some point, Mike said there's a lot of stuff that's still coming out. That's fine, but how interesting is it always? I don't want to force it. / at some point you're done.
Kind of.
You know what I mean? There's only one day that Redstone got named. There's only one day that Sputnik got launched the first time. There's only one day that Yuri Gagarin went up. There's only one, and so like every
We're still making
freaking
history though. Like every.
But every single yeah. But at some point it's not.
You won't ever catch up. We're only doing this once a week, and there's 365 days a year.
Hear me out for a second.
Okay.
I don't want every single week. I never want to get to a point where every single week it's like, well, we got to put some kind of history in there, and we've already run through all of the things that happened in all of April on every single given frickin'. That's interesting because I don't want like the first time we put a cat in, and the first time we put a dog in, and the first time we put a.
No. There's a difference between this week in history and just space history. I wasn't saying this week in history. I don't think that's correct.
Whatever shape history comes to be, that's my concern. Is that at some point, every single year at pretty much the same time, we're doing the same stories over and over and over again. We already have that. We ironically already have that trouble with Tomorrow the way that it is.
How so?
We talk about Yuri's Night. There's only so many times we can actually talk about Yuri's Night.
All right,
so there's so many different ways we can talk about Yuri's Night. There's only like. Do you see what I'm saying?
That's fair.
That's my concern.
What if
it may not be founded? That's fine. That's my concern.
What if it was only like, you know how like Daily Show or something like that, they'll do these multiple cutaway things, different segments from different things once a week. So it's not like every week we have a cutaway to this one, you know, person or whatever. And What if it was something like you have 3 or 4 that just kind of rotate around, like, and this week we have so and so talking about space, this something cool event in space history, whatever, or that reminds us of this. Let's talk about that. Or then someone else has well, this week I decided to talk to you a little bit about thermodynamic heating, like just a quick little topic, a space topic that could be interesting, or what specific impulse, or what, just some little segment. We can have these different little segments that would, they could cut away to. Because I like the idea of cutting away to something just so you have extra little things. And then those could also be something that you cut up later and put on its own as almost like a podcast, or as a space pod. Like you have so you get the twofer aspect of it.
So Jason 519, pods is how I found tomorrow. Here's the thing. Here's what everyone needs to remember. Pods aren't free, right? Building this stuff isn't free. So everything we decide to do costs us money. And there needs to be a gain for that. It doesn't mean we need to make more money off of it, but it means that if we're going to spend money to get humanity excited about space, then we should be getting humanity excited about space. I don't believe, and I could be mistaken, and this is where this is all coming from, I don't believe space pods are meeting that goal. I don't think that non-space geeks are finding space pods and getting converted into space geeks. I don't think space pods are really moving outside of our live shows. I think the live shows are dynamic and interactive, and because of that, they're interesting and fun. And the space pods are just not. They're not bad or wrong. They're just not. And so I'm just not seeing the value in them.
So is it a format thing, or?
Yeah, it's always been a format thing, right? If the space pods were super highly produced, right? We go out and you look at like the science. What is it? No. Smarter every day. Veritasium. SciShow. Shows like that.
Okay.
Heavily produced.
Right.
Really well done.
Right.
We are not that. Nope. We're not even remotely close to that. But if they were that, I would see value in that. But we are not. We are someone standing in front of... The closest that we've gotten is Lisa. And it's still pretty far away.
So is that something that's worth chasing, or?
That's just it. I'm not sure it is worth chasing.
So back to kind of
I don't know. That's why we're having this discussion. I'm not 100% on this. I'm not saying pods are dead. I'm saying I think pods are dead, but I'm not sure.
So what if we blend the two worlds, sort of, like we're talking about, where we do a pod live almost, and it has to be rehearsed. The person that's going to be doing the pod has to have it prepared as a segment, just like, again, The Daily Show or something like that. That person is ready to go. They have graphics that get mixed into this.
I think that's too big of an ask.
To what end? What's the benefit?
So then you can still cut that segment up and still have a free extra takeaway to post, as, again, a discoverable thing. Like Jason would maybe just see this quick little, we're going to explain, specific impulse.
So we tried doing that too. Something similar. We actually used to break the show into 3 segments. So you would have the whole cohesive show, and then just news, just interview, and then actually we broke it into 2 weeks. If you wanted to watch comments, you had to watch the whole show.
Yeah.
And that was a miserable flop.
Yeah.
That did not work at all. So if we're going to do that, it will not be part of the live show. It'll be its own standalone thing.
It is.
Because we've tried that, it did not work. So
It's
then we're
funny
back to pods.
Andrew
then those are
says
just pods.
that show content is king.
No,
The only other issue that I have with pre-producing things like maybe everyone doesn't know what Delta V is. Fine.
Yeah, that's
Let's
good.
do a pod on Delta V.
Yep.
So the question that came up in the chat room was like, well, when you talk about Delta V, then maybe you should go to the pod and show the pod. My biggest problem with that is that, A, we have to create an entire library of these things. I don't have that big of an issue with that. My big problem is we then have to have that library accessible to us at all times. So we can go, actually, we have a pod on that. And without knowing where our conversation goes, and you know how our conversations go because you've been on the show a number of times, right? Then they could go anywhere. Right? So we could maybe try to do, right. And then Dudda's got to be like, oh, that's right, we do have one of those. Right? Or one of us has to, and then he's got to find it, then he's got to call it up.
Yeah.
And no offense to Dudda, and because you're doing an amazing job, but just trying to call up the stupid pictures that we've already loaded into the freaking thing.
Yeah, it's hard.
Trying to get those sometimes is difficult.
So Andrew Shire, content is king. that's half true, right? That is actually a common misconception, is that content is king. Content is one aspect that you cannot get wrong. There are lots of things that are equally as important. So you can't just focus on content and have crappy production values. People won't watch. You can't just have great production values and crappy content. People won't watch. So all of the things matter. And so making sure that all of the shows and everything maintains kind of a minimum tomorrow.
Okay, so now what's going on, this is diverging a little bit.
Yep.
Now people are saying, like, okay, so if you have a pod for it, then you get to go, yes, here's a point.
Sure.
That's handy, but then you need a librarian.
That's handy. We just
we
have to make a library.
Like, Space Kyle was my hero the other day. I made a show schedule spreadsheet in the drive.
And you dropped everything in there.
And he went through all the way back to season 1.01 and put in who the guest was, what the title, who they were representing, the main topic, the link to the. Look at this.
Yeah.
Chris Radcliffe says 1 minute-ish segments can be extracted from the show for future consumption.
That's crazy.
I mean, I guess.
But having to then look up for everything that we talk about, look that up and go, okay, if you want to know more information, click here. I mean, that's a whole like Wikipedia rabbit hole that you can delve down forever. But
and I'm mostly just playing devil's advocate. Like I'm not saying that these are bad ideas. I want to be clear that I don't mind doing some of this work, but some of this other work feels like too much for too little output, too little in the end.
No gain for the
right.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like having these ideas are easy.
Yes.
Executing on them and actually following through with them and understanding that all this costs time and money and stuff. So consider this. Let's just say we keep pods. What do you want to get rid of in order to maintain pods? Right? That's how this is going to, because we don't have the resources to do a lot of stuff. So Mike, we can do pods and then never do tomorrow science. Is it worth?
Kind of.
Are we going to trade pods for science? Or should we, what I'm kind of saying is, all right, let's get rid of the pods and let's start cities and let's start science.
So, Space Mike, you're saying that the live performance, quote unquote, isn't as polished as the pre-recorded stuff. Fine, because it doesn't have to be. It's not designed to be like that. The thing is, if you really want the highly polished stuff, then like half of us are going to have to stop working at tomorrow, and the other half are going to have to get their money to do it, and also their time to do it. I cannot hammer in enough examples of how much time the live show, including most of the editing for the times that we screw up on it, takes less time than doing a 5-minute space pod. It just does. That's why we did it live. No, I'm not bashing us either, right? Like I certainly am not polished, but my space pods.
I don't think we should be pulling stuff. So there's this concept going around of pull stuff out of the live show and post it as a separate segment. I actually this is Space Mike's comment and I agree with it, which is not to bash this, but it's just not as polished. That's correct, and there's not as much context. If you're going to pull stuff from the show, it should be its own standalone object. And if we're going to make it its own standalone object, then it has to be a really well-produced standalone object along the lines of SciShow, Veritasium, Smarter Every Day, something like that, where there's a boatload of time and thought. And let's be clear, some of these Smarter Every Day things they put out take them months to produce.
Yeah.
Months, not like weeks.
And they are
months.
Fantastic.
And they're fantastic. They are brilliant.
Yes.
But if that's what we want, then maybe we do kill tomorrow science entirely and just have Stoge spend several months on a 5-minute video. But I'm not sure that that's the right call. I think we're going to get more bang for our buck by doing something like Tomorrow Science. That's my thought process, at least.
And one of the things that I'm sure is true about Smarter Every Day is it's not just him doing it, it's him and his team coming up with and writing, and there's a staff behind that.
Yep.
It's not just Lisa coming up with a script 5 minutes before she films and going out to a park to film about whatever. And Lisa, you do fantastic pods. Jared does great pods. Space Mike does great pods. But
they're in the chasm.
They're writing in their words about their subject, which brings a certain level of passion, but that polish doesn't come from one person. That polish comes from a team of people going over and saying, do you really need to say this? Well, yes, because, or no, because, or, you know, how many times do you write an email and you think it's great, and then you send it, and somebody comes back to me and comes back to you and goes, dude, you shouldn't have said that.
Space Mike brings up a very valid point, which is, yeah, he has a team, so does SciShow. SciShow has 5 editors, just editors.
Yeah.
Right? We don't have that. Our SpacePod correspondents have to do it completely by themselves. And there's I don't know if you guys have ever heard me say this, but there's this chasm. So there's completely unproduced, raw, happened in the moment, on your iPhone, horrible, horrible content. And then there's super produced Hollywood movie content on this side. And it kind of goes like this, right? It kind of, you have this chasm in the middle. You want to stay out of the chasm. You want to stay out of the middle area, which unfortunately, that's kind of where we're at right now. We're closer to the right-hand side, but we're definitely not up quite where I want to be. That's why we're looking at things like lighting. All of these things make a difference. So right now the space pods, unfortunately, are at the dead bottom of that chasm. And it's exactly where we don't want them to be. They either need to be way more raw, way more organic, way crappier quality, or they need to be way the hell better. But they can't be where they're at right now.
So currently pods are, Mike's got an idea and he'll research it this week and he'll edit this week and he'll produce this week. Is it maybe a better idea to collect a number of stories, collect a number of ideas?
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got X number of ideas, and so you give Mike, this is the one that I want you to do. And I want you to go do and research, and once you come up with a script, you give it back to the community or to the group, and we go over it, we go through, we edit, much like the rundowns, and say, okay, this doesn't need to be there, this you can cut out, this we need to expand on, and do that kind of editorial process before we even get to producing it. So we've got that thing, and here's your script that you're going to film this week. And this week you film it, you show everybody the raw, and you do some edits, and then
sure, we can do all of that. What are we giving up? What do we want to give up to do that?
Right. I'm just throwing out ideas.
Sure.
To get it out of the chasm, if we want to keep pods,
right?
Is that a way to do that?
That's a potential way to do that. It goes back to, actually, Andrew Shire has an interesting point, which is live is easier than polished, but research and knowledge is what is important. But I feel like we have a pretty decent knowledge base. You don't have to know every answer, right? It's okay to say, I don't know. And actually, I think that's a very valuable lesson on the show, is being able to say, I don't know, and have that be an accepted answer on the show.
We do that all the time.
As opposed to a pod where you're never going to say, I don't know, because you're going to have the time and energy to research it. So it's okay to be a little bit, when you're live, you're allowed more leeway, I guess is the point.
Yes.
And just naturally, and you have this dynamic two-way conversation that you just do not get with the space pods. And you're right, we could do that with space pods. That would probably get them out of the chasm. But I look at that and I go, okay, that's a fantastic amount of work. Would you, all right, let me word it this way. We can do that, and that would probably put space pods where I would like them to be. If we do that, we would have one space pod per month and one live show per month, because the rest of our time will be going into that process. Is that an acceptable compromise to keep space pods? One live show per month, one space pod per month.
And understand that patrons are going to adjust their contributions accordingly.
Well, they may or may not. I mean, that's up to them.
Okay, so Andrew Shire. Oh wait, no, we did that one. Marnix Jensen says, where are the costs for the space pods?
We pay everyone, so all of our talent gets paid. We also pay for everyone's creative suite. We also pay for all of the bandwidth that goes into downloads. So each pod, when it's all said and done, costs us around $500 to $600 or so. Yeah, probably closer to the $500 mark than the $600 mark, actually. It depends. It varies, right? So it's not exactly that number, but that's around what each one. So we actually lose quite a bit of money on every pod.
Well, you're just talking monetary costs.
Oh, what's the?
Well, just he said, what's the cost? So where are the costs? So,
Well, that's cost, and then the time necessary, right? I mean,
which is so much.
Yeah, in order to do a pod really great, it is 4 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week.
Jason says, what if the audience is polled on which of the 25-ish stories across all the shows each week to nominate a story for a deeper look through producing a pod? It sounds generally like...
I mean, yeah, we can do that. But again, if we're going to be doing a pod and a well-produced pod, we have to give something up from a time standpoint. Because there's a cost, there's a monetary cost, and there's a time cost.
Right.
And, part of what the show does not break even. So I still pay for a not insignificant amount of the show out of my own pocket. For example, I mean, today we brought in Eric. I don't know where we lost. Oh, he's in there. She's, you're finally here. Sorry. Bringing in Eric. Just so you guys know, we're talking about adding about $10,000 in lights. Tomorrow cannot afford that. That will come out of my own personal pocket. Carrie and I said that we pay all of our people. That is true, except for Carrie and I. We bring home zero. It's the other way around. We pay to be here. So there's that. So that's true.
Yeah.
So
That one.
every show has monetary costs, and then it has the time cost. And I also have a day job at Company X, which requires a great deal of time. Because I need to maintain that job in order to pay for the show, we have to give something up to do these things. We can't do all of these things. But at the same time, I want to continue to expand. So it's this constant battle in me of, let's find the best things to move forward. The most efficient use of all of our resources.
Okay.
Are pods the most efficient use of our resources? Or is tomorrow's cities and tomorrow's science a more efficient use of our resources?
Minnie Stoge says, live shows are at the forefront of video communication idea sharing. Stoge also commented, and so did Mike a little bit, about not being able to get feedback for pods until they're already uploaded. And Stoge says that's why live is awesome, because you get the feedback immediately, which is also really good. Even Mike said that he is willing to give up the pods, rather have weekly shows and no pods than just one of each per month. Generally, people were saying no to the idea of 1 and 1.
That was just an idea, right? I'm just throwing out ideas.
I understand. I'm trying to summarize everything because you just keep talking.
Also, Astro, some ask if that's tax deductible. You better believe it. Absolutely it is. So it's not as bad as it sounds, right?
Also, really quickly, Mike, Lisa, this goes to Jared, Tim, anybody else who's ever going to do a space pod, if you ever want input on what the group of us think, we're perfectly willing to help you with that. If
You're on Slack. You have no excuse not to ask.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We don't mind doing that at all in any way, shape, or form.
Here's an interesting Adlona. Let's see what it's like without pods. What did you think last month? This last month? I don't think we've had a single pod posted in like the last 30 days.
We had one pod, I think.
Jared.
One pod in the last 30 days? One pod in the last 30 days. How'd that feel? Did anyone notice? Did you notice, really? Did you notice that we didn't really have pods?
I keep getting notifications that people are changing their space pod contributions.
Yeah, they're dropping.
Yeah.
Yep. But they've been dropping even before that.
I know.
Yep.
Here's just a thought. If the pods cost X $100 an episode, basically, what would it do for the show to literally put that straight into like traditional advertising?
We would need a lot more viewers. We're way too small for traditional advertisers to care at all.
I mean, like, no. I mean, like, us pay to advertise to get to grow the fan base. Like, if you spent $400
instead of paying pod patrons,
pay $400, pay $400 to be a suggested video on YouTube when someone's looking up.
That is an interesting
flight.
idea.
Say someone's watching the live stream of SpaceX, and oh, guess what? You're watching this. You might like these guys talking about that, and that could grow the user base quite a bit. I feel like. I mean, because that's a healthy advertising chunk, and it might grow quicker than space pods.
You suck at marketing.
I do suck at marketing. That's not a bad idea.
I mean,
what I would do is I would actually lower the number to get the costs under control, because the costs are out of control right now.
I mean, even $100 a week.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
If each episode had $100 of suggested
we could do that pretty easily. Yeah.
Then that might help a lot.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Because if you get your YouTube subscription up, if you get subscribers up to 50K, if you got it up to 50,000 subscribers and stuff like that, or 100,000 subscribers, the show could have a lot more push even in other aspects as well,
That's an interesting idea.
Although
Neuropilot says $300 in YouTube ads doesn't go very far.
What's very far?
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing.
Will it go further than Space Pods?
It might. I mean, Space Pods really, we don't see growth with Space Pods. That's the thing to keep in mind. Oh, hang on. Let me show you. Yeah, you should be. We can get you You want to sit out here and be part of the conversation? I can get you a thing and a stuff.
I'll be the man behind the curtain.
All right.
It's the man behind the curtain.
I mean, most lighting guys would.
So that's my consensus and my push personally on social media has been growth way before any profit, and you guys are obviously the same way. You're investing a lot of money into the show. And I occasionally will sponsor content and stuff like that to help grow my audience, my audience base, because with a bigger audience base, you can do a lot more things later on, obviously. So that's my kind of, one will be over 10K, but not often.
I got it. You're good.
What you guys are good at is live. It is why you like it. Hard numbers, analytics is important. Then we get the data we need to make these decisions. Yes. Do we look at the, I love looking over, scouring over YouTube analytics and stuff. Does anyone look over that stuff, and does anyone manage the tags and stuff?
I mean, Ben will know it better than I do.
I'm really big into that kind of stuff.
Again, pointing to the space guy, he's done that quite a bit for Facebook posts and such.
Actually, that brings up another point, because I'm talking to Eric in the control room. Tomorrow is about the community. You guys can't see me, I'm sorry, but tomorrow is about community, right? This isn't about us preaching to you. This is about starting conversations and starting the church of space, if I were, right? This is about getting everyone excited about humans living and working in space. Pods are not about community. You can comment a little bit, but you can't do it live. You're not a part of the conversation. You're not a part of the process. But when you're watching the live show, even something like this, where you're watching us just light the set, for example, or work on cities, you're a part of the process. You have the ability to change and shape the very show that you're watching in real time. And with these new chat tools, even more so. Yeah. And I just don't see that happening in pods. And I don't see the conversation extending in pods. And it just doesn't feel like, it feels like it was an interesting experiment that didn't quite work. So let's try something else.
And now you have that investment of the pods, so there's still a discovery tool potentially out there because that's why I'm obsessed with YouTube lately. I've been trying to put a lot of eggs in that basket because I will produce a video and 2-3 weeks later, all of a sudden I'll see a huge uptick because it does its own organic thing, and it's a library, it's an archival thing that's worth something later on. And that's, so you still have those. They're still of high value. If someone is researching something, they still might run into this tomorrow content that can help connect them into other tomorrow things. So, yeah. Seki, I don't know if anyone's doing analytics on the competition. I need to pull up.
Wait, what's our competition?
That's, YouTube would let us know other things that would be
really long form, like live interact.
I'd say there's podcasts that are competition. Are
there?
Yeah, I know I listen to 4 or so podcasts that are of similar topics. There's Are We There Yet? There's Orbital Mechanics. There's We Martians, stuff like that.
You're talking podcasts.
Yeah, but they lots of times will have a chat room and stuff, and they'll pull in audience stuff. And I mean, it's different, but it's still something to take into consideration of what's working for them, what's not working for them.
Yeah, weekly space hangout.
I think, my intuition is this. Twitch could be really big because Twitch has a huge community of people that are familiar with. They're very familiar with the live format. They're invested in a live format. That's why they're there. You know.
Yeah. How is
talk to us.
This Week in Space doing? This Week in Science.
I mean, I think we're bigger than they are? Question mark. I agree. I agree with Twitch. I think Twitch is. So it's going to be all platforms, right? So we're kind of committed to Twitch as primary, but we're still going to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right, and we're still going to be on Periscope, and we're just going to push out everywhere. Because again, it's about I want you to be able to discover us, however you want to discover us.
Wherever you're.
And if you want to chat on YouTube, cool, chat on YouTube. I don't really care. It funnels to us, and you get on the screen. That's the plan. Right now, it's only going to be Twitter, IRC, and Facebook to get on the screen because that's what my tools allow for. But once my tools allow for all of it, absolutely.
Get on it, Colton.
Colton. So anyhow.
Yeah. If I were to go, like I said, my intuition would say push hard on the Twitch thing and push hard on potentially even just growing an actual YouTube subscription base through targeted advertising.
Yeah, I mean, targeted advertising is not a bad idea. So, what's been the general consensus on pods, or there is no general consensus? We're all over the board.
A little bit all over the board.
Yeah, kind of all over.
Here's a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
So, pods are basically just someone talking in front of a camera at a location or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're spending all this money to do pods, why not just bring it into the studio, save the money from actually having to produce and put this together, and put it into here?
They're not located here.
They're not, yeah. So
Could they not
Lisa
be
is in
located
Australia.
Here? Oh.
Right. Mike is in Arizona. So which is great because then we get their perspective on things from wherever they are. / a lot of times the pods aren't just somebody sitting down in front of a wall, right? A lot of times the pods are, Lisa will go out and spin a bucket of water around her head.
Right.
So there's all those sorts of things. So she might talk about it. It's much more, it's highly more produced than the live show, yes?
Could you bring it into the live show format so it's not two standalone entities? You're doing pods within the live show itself?
That's what we're kind of debating.
Help you, or
that's what we're debating.
Yeah, that's a question.
Because I think you're right about targeted advertising being a thing. Like it's a huge thing. Like I would have never found you on Instagram had I not started following certain individuals and how that all works. I mean, I know personally, like with my own company in the cinema business, I'm in a whole process right now of having to rebrand everything because when someone types in gimbal rental or whatever, I need them to be the first person. I need to be the first person that shows up, and so it's kind of that thing. Is like if you spend the money to be like anyone who types in space or tomorrow, whatever, being like the second or third person that aggregates on Google is like invaluable.
Yeah,
absolutely invaluable.
Well, that's what's funny. I think the way I found you guys was doing research because I was going to do a podcast, a space news podcast, and I literally typed in space news podcast, and found you guys. You know, and I think that's if you're not 100% capitalizing on the work already done, you know, there's 10 years of archival work done.
There's 10 years of content and 2 years of good content.
So Marnik says, I agree Tomorrow Live is where you want your people, but if you browse YouTube on a Wednesday, you click on a recorded live show of an hour, or you click on the informative video of 7 minutes. Yes, but no, but yes, but no. Like, it's not like we haven't done space pods. We've been doing space pods on and off, admittedly, but on and off for probably 8 years. Easy. And if we saw the feedback, or if we saw the growth, or we saw the money, or we saw the anything come out of it, what gets put into it, even if it broke even on time, money, effort, views, all of those things, any of those things, then yes, we would instantly see the worth. The problem is that now it's this thing, and I don't want to be the monkey that just does the thing because that's just the way the thing has always been done. Right? I don't want to just do the thing to do it that way because it's always been done that way.
I think this is a good comment. I don't think I'd be nearly as connected to tomorrow without the live shows. I think it's this interaction, right? I think this is what makes
And you
them...
can't have that interaction in a pod. It's impossible to do.
I think part of the problem is also we're a little ahead of the curve when it comes to live shows.
Yes.
Right? This is not a format that you normally see in broadcast or anywhere else where you're directly connected to the audience and the audience is helping to drive the show.
That's why I think Twitch is so used to that format. That
I
this
agree.
show absolutely fits in.
I
You
agree.
tap into that demographic of people.
Well, until recently, we weren't really even allowed on Twitch, though.
That's crazy.
I know, but now we are.
Yeah.
They actually they reached
It's
out
funny
to like,
you said
hey,
Twitch, and I thought Twit. This Week in Tech.
Oh no, but I definitely see growth there, and I definitely see growth in actual just YouTubers.
Space Kyle asks, how's tomorrow using tags and keywords to get targeted audience? We don't.
That's huge.
Yeah,
Huge,
any thoughts into
huge, huge. Let me
curating
go
the pods
through that.
into a series or a playlist?
Yeah, I think what I'm hearing is that we will. What I'm really gathering from this conversation is that we will probably be better served taking the money, not even all the money, just taking some of the money we put into pods, stopping the pods, and putting that into targeted advertising.
And just SEO, period. Like just utilizing better
Sure.
tag, keywords and all that stuff in YouTube.
Well, I mean, we do some of that, right? We look for keywords of what we were talking about, like
Okay,
Blue
you do.
Origin.
Okay.
But we don't do any of that. We don't. We don't target an audience with them.
Yeah.
Where it's just we talked about Blue Origin, so we type in Blue Origin into our tags. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Well, that's the thing too is your market grows based upon what it is. Like
Generally on par with.
if you have all this stuff, but you're not getting it out to people, or you're not finding more people to acquire to it, then it's kind of like you in the end you're gonna just dive yourself into nothingness. Versus growing with it, you take it off the table, put it a little bit into advertising. Now over time, you can bring it back. It's not something that has to go away. It's just the thought that like. I always know, like, at least for my business, I don't buy a piece of equipment until I know I have a market that's going to ask for it.
Sure.
So once that grows and gets to that point, I always jump into something when I literally what's happening is I won't survive without adding this.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's how it works for my, at least on my end, where it becomes this thing where you want to get to a point where you want to have 50,000 Twitch followers that are saying, we want more, give us more. Okay, well, you guys want more. Here, this is what we have a plan for giving more, but how do we do that? And you can't do that without the audience or the market base to do that with.
Yeah, I think part of what I'm doing with cities and science is going, all right, well, we've got a good chunk of the space geeks now. Let's see if we can drill into other market segments and get some of that audience base and get some crossover there to try to get people who are interested in the future of city and urban design, get some of the people who are interested just in science in general to be part of this network of shows that all ties to each other, and then everyone finds everyone else, and then all ships kind of rise with the tide. That's my thought process there. That's why I think tomorrow's cities and tomorrow's science is going to be far more valuable than tomorrow's space pods ever were, even before there were space pods when they're just called dailies. I think that we're going to be reaching new user bases that we otherwise wouldn't be able to reach. And so we'll be bringing in fresh blood, and we'll be bringing in a group of new people. And it all ties back to space. This is the central core of every topic that we're bringing up. And so I think, again, it's that all ships rise with the tide. I hope, because I don't actually know, because I don't have the data behind it, but I hope that that's what will happen.
See, Andrew, it's interesting that you say that.
What do you say?
Andrew Shire says, I would just watch the news if it was separate like space pods. The live event is cool as long as the knowledge is there. The viewers want to chew on the content and don't care about getting more people joining. That's why you watch. That's not why everybody else watches. I think a lot of our users watch for a lot of different reasons.
I think a lot of people watch for the community.
I've heard people that say they want to watch the news and they don't care about anything else.
Yep.
I've heard people that want to watch the
interview and don't care about the
anything
news.
else.
And I've heard people that want to watch the comments.
And don't care about anything else. Even people say, I only like After Dark.
Yeah.
I've heard every last one of those things.
One of my buddies has recently started watching. He said, "You guys should break out the interview segment into its own." I'm like, "Yeah, we used to."
We used to do all of those things.
Yeah. It didn't take off like it needed to.
But at the same time,
yep.
When's the last time we did any of those things? Just because we did it 4 years ago.
No, it was like season 9. We did all the.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? You see where I'm going with that point. Is like, yes, we tried that, but we tried it however many years ago. Yes, we tried that, but we tried it however many years ago. Yes, we tried that, but we had tried it however many years ago. Being on the cutting edge, like we apparently found out, I freaking found out when we went to the YouTube conference.
I know, it's hilarious. They're all years, but we're like, we did that years ago.
We did it years ago.
Let me tell you why it does or doesn't work.
But we went to that conference like 3 years ago, and at that time, we were light years ahead of them, doing whatever it was, tips and tricks and things that we were doing at that time. What if we just go back and do those sort of things? You see what I mean?
Like, has the audience caught up to what we were?
That's what I'm saying.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be totally have your tail between your legs on things that you tried and failed.
Right. I'm not saying that just because we tried it before and it didn't work then doesn't. Right. Exactly.
Or maybe just a slight tweak on something that you tried in the past. Maybe it's time to give some of those things another
The thing
shot.
that has not changed and will not change is that space pods take forever. They just do.
Yeah, trust me.
That's the nature of the beast. There's no getting around that. There's no speed reading through it. There's no.
So Jason says, I'd say lose the pods for now, but involve the space pod hosts more in the main shows. So, I don't know that we need to do more. I think.
I mean, part of that, again, is a time issue of like, well, it's stupidly early morning for Lisa.
That's correct.
Right? I think that's why she's not in our main show.
I think science is a really great fit for Lisa.
Yes.
I really do. And especially since all of our shows relate back to space and her core passion is space, it seems just like a perfect fit for her, whether she likes it or not. And so I would, well, kind of. So I would actually prefer her begin work. Understand, spinning up new live shows. We don't just go, oh, let's do a new live show. And then it magically happens. I mean, Tomorrow Cities has been in work for a while now. These things take time, effort, and money, right? So that promo costs money, the open costs money, all these things. So we need to start the process now to get science going, and then we'll be ready in about 6 months or so, I think. Run. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know that we need to bring... And then everyone else, we're already kind of, like, Jared's already here, so we'll bring Space Mike in on the holo screen.
And I want to be very, very clear. I'm not trying to beat anyone here into submission. I'm just trying to explain our point of view and the things that we've tried and either failed or succeeded.
I mean, here's another thing that we can look at it like. We can focus on one or the other. We can focus on the live show, or we can focus on doing space pods. Now, if we focus on doing space pods, I think we could do like 2 per week. So would you be willing for us to stop all live shows in exchange for 2 space pods per week? Or would you prefer that we stop all space pods and do 1 live show per week? How's that for? Let me float that one out there and see what you guys say.
What?
No live shows ever again, 2 space pods per week. Or no space pods, 1 live show per week, 1 space.
Hey, what about seasons of things? How like Daily Show or whatever will go on, 4 months on, 2 months off or something, What if it was 4 months on live, a month off for some space pods to kind of take some of those important stories and... You become inconsistent then. And consistency is very important. People have to know what they're going to expect. So I don't want to lose people with, well, I'm only here for the live shows, then you lose them. It's kind of like, it's like shows when they go on break and they go on an extended break, and they come back and they're slightly different. Yeah.
You just in ratings.
Well, it looks like we have a lot of live must stay. Wrong.
All right, Chris says, Radcliffe's need to go get food. Any parting questions for cities? I think we're good on cities. I'm excited to see. We'll give you some additional feedback on your rundown over the next week. I'm excited to see cities. I just straight up, the pilot's going to be rough just because they always are. But I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be fun. So see what happens there.
Breaking in the news stories into individual videos that you put out content during the weekdays without needing to produce new content, sure, but again, it's not nearly as polished.
We did that. Remember, we did that for the better part of a year.
I'm just saying, it's not nearly as polished. You have different expectations.
And it doesn't quite match.
It's not quite right, yeah.
You take the content of a space pod and you have a start and finish, and you have the setup and the tease and all this. And
even if you just took the news segment,
all that is arranged,
like the 10 minutes or whatever it is,
make you a good polished pod. And the way that we do our news, it being live, there's inside jokes from that show. So if you didn't watch segment 1 and hear about how blah 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 thrusters make coffee tables, and you're watching segment 2, and all of a sudden there's a joke about coffee tables, what
right?
are they laughing at?
Yeah.
It just doesn't notch into that box as well as something that's polished and intended to be that 3-minute segment.
Treehouse, good discussion today. I think a live shows what helps you stand out from other content providers. Good luck with the decision making. Yeah. So by the way, I'm not when I'm coming up with these scenarios. These are not scenarios. I'm saying this is how it has to be. What I'm doing is I'm gauging how important object A versus object B is to you. So Andrew is like the Ben ultimatum . But that's not quite what I'm doing. I'm more trying to go, okay, well, if I forced one of these down your throat, which one would you make? And that helps me better understand where people's priorities are, and if they're forced to make a really hard decision, what they would actually choose. And we're ending on about where I thought we would be. In general, people seem to be like, do not get rid of the live show. The live show is the lifeblood of this thing. Like, that's why, generally most people, that's why we're here. What I'm hearing from everyone is we love the live shows. We get what you're saying about the pods, but we still want something. So what if I just say, okay, let's focus on opening up a few different live shows, science, cities, and then I think tech I think would be another low-hanging fruit for us, although tech is really hard. It sounds like it would be easy, but how are we different than The Verge? Right. Food. Actually, I think food would be fairly, anyhow. Or do you mean you need food now?
Both.
Both, yeah.
Both?
Tomorrow food.
Today, food now.
So focus on those for now until we can figure out how to do something that is SciShow grade space pods. Because I do see the value in the 5. I've always seen the value. We've tried to do this for 10 years. We've just failed at it every time. And what we're doing now isn't working. And I think if everyone were to take a hard critical look at space pods, you go, yeah, they don't quite work. I see where you're trying to be, and you're not there. So I think what I'm going to decide right now is we are going to shelf pods. I'm officially deciding at this point. We're shelving pods for the foreseeable future. We are going to try to figure out the other live shows. We're going to continue to see if we can't find a process or some way to refine those pods and make them up to the Tomorrow level, up to that SciShow level. No. And once we can figure that out, we'll dust them back off and we'll reintegrate them. She can be here.
No, I know. She just is getting into things.
Oh.
Just like getting into like banking apps and stuff. You don't want her to buy things.
Transfer all money.
It's like that could be a problem.
I mean, she needs my fingerprint, but still.
Space Kyle asks, what happens to the pod Patreon? I think the only fair thing to do would be to suspend it or shut it down. I don't think we should be charging people for something we're not building content on. I think that'd be a dick move. So,
well, if you don't put a thing out, they don't get charged, correct?
No. On space pods, it's monthly.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and that's why we've been seeing a huge decline because we just haven't been posting anything. So why would you? Yeah.
Jared asked if he did not in the chat, but he asked if pods are going away. Should we do like a goodbye pod?
That's a good idea. Maybe we should summarize everything we just said in a pod with the correspondents, because the correspondents aren't going away. The correspondents are still part of the show. You're going to see Space Mike in the live show. You're going to see Jared in the live show. You're going to see Mini Stoge, probably a little bit in space, but more in science than anything else.
So write a decent script where it's
let's write something.
Invites everybody to come see the live show.
Come back to the live show.
Come to cities. Come to science in November.
Yeah, I think so. I think And based on what I just said, we'll do a goodbye Superpod. We'll shelf them for now. As the correspondents are like, because the correspondents are learning in real time as well. Although I warned everyone, I told everyone that.
Jared's not. He'll catch up later.
Yeah, I told everyone this. There was an email that went out a while ago saying, "Hey, this is what I'm thinking. This is where I think I'm going." But I really wanted this to decide it. I wanted to have this conversation. I wanted to flush everything out.
Excuse me?
Sit down.
Hey.
Nah.
Yeah.
You be nice.
That's your mama. You need to be nice to her, yeah?
Make you give Ben noses.
So yeah, I think this is effective immediately for the space pods. We'll create the last super pod, and that'll be the end of that. Yeah.
Watch, I'll sit my chair over there next to you. Just out of frame though, if I can.
I'm just going through comments, seeing if there's anything else here.
I think we need to look at some analytics.
Mm-hmm. For
as someone who
everything.
Literally just sort of has seen today, like what this is.
Yeah.
The live stuff is far more intriguing to me.
Yeah, I think so too.
You guys all have great chemistry together. It's like got a great, it's got a snappy, fun, good vibe to it. Like,
actually, you
Which
just
is
brought
funny
up
because you haven't even seen us doing the thing that we normally do. You're just watching us like talk.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying is you can tell when it's there, you know? And to me, it's like that. I would much rather watch an hour long or whatever, half hour, 45-minute long show of you guys talking about space and future than a bunch of 5-minute segments, in my opinion. It's just what I've noticed. Because you guys are all awesome on camera.
Aww.
Also, this right here, with the couch and everyone just kind of talking, as opposed to the
Everyone looking fat. Can we just please, seriously, can we stand?
Well, no, I mean, no. Actually, this
I like
is.
standing.
I'm glad you like standing, but this feeling for the comments, this more casual approach, this is way better. This is what comments should be.
This is very
and we can get a
conversational.
different couch. This is very conversational. This is how I want comments to be. Yeah, that's wrong. That's the wrong feeling for comments. And Eric, what you bring up is an interesting point. Oh, I'm sorry. He basically said he enjoys the live
Ben
side
sucks. Everyone else is awesome.
That's mainly what I was saying. Was that
He's basically saying that I suck. Yeah.
Ben sucks and everyone else is cool.
He's basically saying he likes the chemistry here. That there's a good chemistry going on, and that's intriguing from a live standpoint, which is another ding against the pods because it's just a
no
single
interaction.
person. There's no interaction, and there's something magical. You're right. There's something magical about being able to bounce back and forth and talk. And I love bringing up the comments on the screen and. Yeah, I do love being able to, like Mini Stores just said, being able to bring. This is awesome. I have been, for anyone who's been with us since the Space Vidcast days, I've been trying to do this for 10 years now, and we are 80% of the way there with the new stuff that I just deployed yesterday. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Ben likes comments.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. Actually, this is a long hangout, isn't it?
Well, Benny's got a new toy. He's distracted.
Actually, for those watching, I realized there was a lot going on, and a lot of this was like logistical stuff. But hopefully you did get to. Hopefully it was an interesting peek behind the scenes to actually see what it takes to light up a 26 feet set, 26 foot wide set. See what it takes to start like getting the technology side of cities going. Just a nice, little, interesting glimpse behind the scene.
Are you in Bitmojis?
Yes.
Yep.
How did she get into that?
So.
She's better at phone than you are.
Don't send messages to people.
So if I could summarize,
No, she's like
Go
an
ahead.
app, like should be okay.
I think
She's making
my
a
personal
naked
opinion on your shift should be a hiatus on the space pods, still capitalize on them as being archival
Sure, I'm not
resources.
deleting them.
Yeah, I mean, like, still, like, they're still a resource for, not for the live show, but for Tomorrow as a brand. And they should be, you know, maybe even considered having a little bit of suggested video, targeted advertisement as well.
You just brought up an interesting, if I may interrupt for a moment, you brought up an interesting point, which is a lot of the space pods are not evergreen. And maybe that was part of our mistake. For those who don't understand,
into the thing, though.
So evergreen meaning it's good forever, essentially, right? It's a very it lasts for years.
Like I referenced that though. Like that's why we had things like the stuff that was super topical, but then there was stuff like that was the T-L- clock.
Right. So
pod,
I mean, maybe
right?
when space pods come back, they should all be evergreen. They should all be designed to be something that you can then. And as was also mentioned earlier, they can be used as references in the show, because I think there are going to be a lot of, to your point, like having that library would suck. I don't think we have to have a library of everything, but having a library talking about like common things. What's delta V?
Specific impulse.
ISP, yep. Things like that, right? If we just have a list of
liquid.
Yeah, right. If we just have a list of like 10 or 20 items that are just hanging out off on the side, not even part of the rundown, they're just there like in a different folder that you can quickly get to and be like, this one, and you can, or maybe they are I don't know. And you just be like, oh, we're talking delta V, and a little delta V banner pops up on the bottom with like, delta V is this, here's a space pod explaining it. That actually might be pretty powerful. I could see that. And you know what, actually saying that, maybe what we do, sorry correspondents, let me change my mind on everything I just said. That's how I work.
I think to that end, you need to come up with a list of common vocabulary.
What?
And the things that haven't yet been covered.
Like Reddit's the acronym almost, where it's a nice table of.
Well, like TARS, where you put in, you know, exclamation point, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So you take that vocabulary, and we need something for that.
I think that is good to have regardless. I'm not, whether we call it a space pod or something else, I think maybe we should task the correspondents with, you know, we'll all work together and develop 20 of the, however many it is. There's a number there, I don't know what it is, but Delta V, ISP, liquid, solid, one on an Atlas V, one on a Delta 4, one on a, like, here's the history of this rocket. Yeah, exactly. Like,
was there
here's
an Atlas 1?
Yeah, that we had.
Exactly. You know, here's a Delta 4 launch. You're watching the launch. For more information on the Delta 4, go here. Right? What do we think? All right, community, what do we think of that? So
Tomorrow explains. I like that.
Yeah, Tomorrow explains. Exactly. Yeah, that's, in fact, allow me to do this, because it's worth that. Exactly. So they won't be forever is the thing, right? Because we're going to come up with just core ideas, and we're going to kind of race in the beginning to get a few done. We're going to work together to script these things. They're going to be very highly produced and very polished.
And very poignant.
Very poignant. Very like Delta rocket. Like history of Delta. Boom, 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 boom. 5 minutes or less. That's all you get.
Yeah.
You get 5 minutes or less. If you go over 5 minutes, you failed.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
Sure, but there has to be an emphasis on the knowledge.
Yes,
right?
that's all they are all about.
That's so we can collab on scripts or any other help needed.
Yep.
See what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So it will help with promotion. It'll help with, those are going to be very easy for me to put words, right? So if you're searching for Delta 4, boom, done. Searching for Atlas 5, boom.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
There we are. You know, history of the SSME, stuff like that. So things that we constantly talk about.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that makes sense.
And we can do some of that. I mean, not the archival part, but I think yeah. And then I still think like targeted advertising and things like that is going to be a really important way to grow the community.
Oh, this is a good idea from Vax. And then once we have those things, once I click the button and he's up on screen, put the links to the topical space pods into the TARS response, which is TARS is the bot in the chat room that allows you to. I'm really digging on this idea. I think this is, unless the chat room disagrees, I think this is a really good compromise that gets us the things that we liked about the space pods, it is worth it to me to spend the money on these things for the space pods because I see real value there. It ties all of that back into the live show, but then we're also not forcefully creating one space pod per week for some arbitrary reason. Right? We're creating space pods, we build them, and when they're ready, when they're ready, that's when we release them, not a moment before. Right? And so they slowly trickle out, they do their thing. I still am going to kill the Space Pod Patreon campaign and refocus everything into Tomorrow Space because I don't think it's fair to charge for something like that. That doesn't make sense to me.
As part of the live show.
As part of the, so I'm considering these part of the live show, but just kind of explainers. So they won't even necessarily be called, well, now those will still be Space Pods, but yeah.
I think to that end, we should also spend a little bit of effort in quantifying and understanding our past and the things that we've covered already and be able to make that more accessible. So there's been hundreds of times where during a live show or a news or comments, you say, oh, I think we blah, blah, blah before.
Sure.
No, we need to know. That's our show. That's our stuff.
Yeah, it's just that there's 10 years of it, so...
I know, but we did that before, and here it is. It is a better result.
Yeah, it should be like...
I mean...
It should be, like Seki is saying, though, it should be searchable, right? So I should be able to frickin' search by the frickin' search tag.
I mean, I'm going to be frank.
And then go,
your idea
cool.
is fine, but that you just put all of that on you. Because there is no way I can be hosting the show.
No, I understand, but we need data to be able to do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we have the data, and I think Space Mike brings it. Check out our interview with X here. You know, we can build a banner for every single show we've ever done and have those on standby as well. And we can actually put them in a group that you can collapse. So then those are just in a collapsible, and you, bug? Yeah. So it's just in a collapsible group, and then you go, oh, hey, we were talking about such and such. You'll have to look up really quick what show it was, and then you just have a banner, 101 through 10 whatever, and you just drag that over, or it'll just be there. You just press play, and off you go, except I don't have a name banner server anymore. Dang it. I'll have to fix that.
Well, but there's ways there. If it's a searchable database thing, or if Colton can come up with an interface so that somebody else could do that, then ding bink, and I pull that up. Cool.
I'm very excited about this. So I think that's a great idea. Yes. So I think data is key, right? So having the banners for the previous shows, things like that. The space pods, this compromised space pods. That doesn't sound right. Need to change that verbiage.
Yeah, the vocabulary space pods.
Tomorrow explains.
Yep.
Right. I think is a really. I'm much happier with that place that we just got to than with me just killing space pods.
Yeah. Yep.
I think we got to a really fantastic place there, and this is why we do these things. This is why we have these conversations.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's see. We got anything else? Are we winding down here?
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So, for everyone watching live, my email is benjamin@tmro.tv. If you have ideas for these pods, like we've obviously colored the low-hanging fruit, Delta V, ISP, some of the things that some of the technical terms that that are important to spaceflight that are fairly easy/hard to understand. Like Delta V, if you didn't know what it was, it's kind of hard to get into it, but we can explain that extremely easily, right? That's a super easy concept to understand.
He is very willing to help with topical videos.
Who is? Vax? Oh, heck yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll drop that up on the... This is awesome. This is going to be awesome. Also, I really like this. I don't know how to deal with this. I like having this. I like being able to point to this. This is stupid. But for comments, I like to be able to go, yeah, Vax said such and such, or
no, it's cool. It's literally interactive.
I feel like I'm interacting here really correctly.
You need a yardstick with a little plan.
Or the paintbrush stick.
Very willing to help with topical videos.
But I'm wondering if there's a way. So, I know what's going to happen when I ask this question, but what happens if for comments we don't have the remote host, be it Everyday Astronaut or Space Mike or whoever's remote? What if we don't have them part of comments at all, and you have to be in studio for comments?
Why?
So you can hang out
That's
like
going to
this.
be great most of the time. But
Except
every
when
once in a
it's-
while, it's going to be you and Carrie Ann sitting here looking at each other.
Or you are working and it's...
Well, the other thing we could do is get another TV that's... Space Mike, how hard is it to rotate your...
Your camera back and forth?
It doesn't matter. I'd still need another TV.
Whip your hair back and forth. Whip your hair back and forth.
I don't even know what that's from.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, no. Wait, why do you need another? Oh yeah, you do need another. Well, yeah.
If I want to point, to the comments,
yeah, you're not going to wheel that other one out here and flip that thing horizontally every time.
No, but maybe we don't need to. Maybe we just wheel the other one out here and we don't flip it horizontally. We just leave it vertical. And we put that on where you guys are. So that TV is vertical over there. I need to just run another feed. We have the comments here, and then we're here on the couch. I don't know. I feel like this is better. This couch is wrong, right? Because we're like yes.
Maybe a bunk bed.
A bunk bed.
One person's on the top and one person's on the bottom looking up.
All right. On that note,
A bunk couch. Everything is awesome.
what happens if I push a YouTube video? Does it just show me a? Oh yeah, it's just a link.
Well, click on it on your finger.
Hang on. Let me.
That would actually be really cool if now you could integrate. Maybe it's impossible, but like so you can just show you.
This is great. Wheeling the mic around the studio is awesome. Needs a segue. I feel like that's a great way to introduce the comment section. Like as we're wheeling him into position, be like, let's talk about comments. As Mike's like moving around the.
I would love if he was on the Segway and he could just roam around and hit
They
stuff.
make those things. They make the little like
iPad.
Remote
They're
presence.
creepy.
the like iRobot things with like the face on the screen.
Yep.
Yes. They're creepy.
No, genius.
Maybe, but
and necessary.
They're creepy.
Especially
how
if we could just
expensive are
run
those?
into
Does anyone
you.
know how expensive those are?
I have a Segway.
And
Who?
That doesn't
What?
help.
I have a Segway.
Eric.
That does
Nerd,
help.
do
We
you
can
use
make
your
one.
Segway?
Absolutely.
Nerd.
I use my Segway constantly for when I do Steadicam work and mobile
Oh, that
shots.
actually makes a ton of sense.
I roll around with the camera.
You're
still in
video
it.
has one for $249.
$249?
way.
Let me see.
Don't you have one, Ben?
You just have to duct tape a pole onto it and an iPad.
Electric scooter.
But it
Done.
can't drive
Stand up by
itself at
itself.
that point, though.
No, but it's even funnier if someone pushes it.
Is it gonna be
It's like someone's
hold it
pushing the
to you?
Segway and it's
hammers up to
rolling.
5
Like the
pounds.
most
I mean, small
inefficient
TV.
piece of
Like
equipment
dumbest,
ever
yeah.
made.
Totally over-engineered.
Like we have this great idea to like roll this thing on, but someone has to push it.
It's one of the most advanced gyroscopically stabilized. Like,
Exactly, the most advanced counterproductive thing you'll ever see.
and then it's just a string
Yeah.
to pull it. That is hilarious.
So only 5 pounds, but I can probably drop a, and that's a counterbalanced whole rig, right?
I love that this is the actual conversation right
This is how tomorrow grows, by the way, is these things like this. This
now.
is
You
a
put
really
an
long
iPad
one.
Pro on it and just have that be the Skype.
Double rising.
Yeah, I can do Skype directly on the thing. Oh, no, I can't. I need his audio.
I mean, it might fit in also with Carrie Ann because she said that she wants to stand. Like, what if you guys were all on Segways?
Done with other
You just have that person FaceTime it.
Just all on Segways
We need the new
rolling?
Segways that have the thing like in the.
That's the one I have
Oh
that
my
has the
God.
knee bar.
Oh
I'm
my
saying,
God.
like,
No, this is just the mount.
Okay, so
Amazing.
you FaceTime into that, keep the Skype line open for the audio for the board, but so you just have the face here over via FaceTime.
Yeah, maybe. Audio sync might be an issue in that, but yeah.
It's going to be this big anyway.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but yeah.
$2,500. There's a.
It's cool, but it's not $2,500 cool.
$250 is right.
700. No, $250 was just the universal 360 camera mount.
So you just want to stand because you don't want to, you don't like the way you look when you're sitting, or because you feel like it's the wrong feeling for the show? If we find a couch that forces us to sit up, like we have something here, like
Oh,
this.
if I'm sitting on this couch for comments for a real show, I'm not sitting like this. Absolutely not.
I understand. It won't be this. It will not be this couch. This is the wrong couch. So it doesn't fit the space station aesthetic. So if we force, get a very uncomfortable couch that has a very straight back, and then we get and then we get like some sort of table that puts the computers here. That's viable, or is that
TV trays. Just some
we
cheap-
need the ones from 2001 where you've got the little compartments.
Oh yeah. Okay, how funny would it be if you literally just set up the cheapest little TV trays and you're eating a meal at the end and it's just like a dinner hangout?
This is eating.
Oh yeah, this is eating.
Yep.
Adventure in eating.
Being someone with large boobs and a midsection, yes, it feels better to sit up with like a table to have something in front of you because you can force yourself to have a better posture.
I mean, it
Yeah,
does.
no, I mean, regardless, if we were just about any couch, I would definitely be up and on and over, like 1,000%.
I think this is
Because
I
yeah,
feel
there's
like
no way that I would be sitting back on any couch.
yeah, but I mean, let's just emulate this for a second, right? We don't. This is going to sound terrible. We don't need to be comfortable. We just it needs to have the right look. It's only.
Oh yeah, no, this isn't comfortable.
It's only for it's only for 10 minutes exactly. So, right, and then we can each get one of these because Dutta will make them.
Yeah.
Out of MDF. It's his favorite.
Hey, at least that one's hollow. Let's talk about the solid one for a second.
Right. I mean, this is it's not comfortable, but this has this casual.
Space Mike reverse live show where I'm in my studio and I have 3 screens of the other hosts.
All right, that's
I'm
getting,
in.
There you go. One of those.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think honestly, looking at it just from a viewer's perspective, as long as you guys have something in front of you holding your laptops up so that you're not sitting on a couch with your laptops like aimed down.
Well, your face automatically goes down because you
and then
just
if
don't have.
I realize this is too small, but you should be able to balance it just temporarily.
Look at our ITS announcement show and how thoroughly that went.
What about stools with like a bench, like a bar top or something? Not like a bar, like not
Right.
like we're like shooting tequila, but like something that
we have talked for, and we did for a while. We drank in After Dark.
We're going to again once the Soma bar comes back.
The frickin' Soma bar.
But this feels decent, right? This feels like a decent comment.
Yes, the
kind of
only
and
thing I've ever said was that you didn't want to reset, and now you're going back to reset.
Yes.
Otherwise, I don't care. That was your wish.
Yes,
So
we're going to reset. We're almost certainly going to reset until we have the other set.
okay, great. So then, yes, absolutely, all of the things you want to do are fine.
Okay.
The Soma bar is just waiting for this data to get out so then I can actually join you again.
Well, no, Soma bar isn't shipping, so that's.
So you've got 1.5 months, is it? That
Oh no, it's probably next year. Probably next year.
it feels like you're sitting a little low, Ben. to
Yeah,
be
this is
honest.
the wrong couch.
No, I know, but I think like like stools.
You're welcome.
Stools seem like that would be better. Like if you sat a little bit higher, like on a stool with like it's almost like it's like you watch like how see how like CNN correspondence does it, where it's like it's a table but they're upright and they're sitting a little higher, because also you're kind of shooting a lot of the set into the carpet. Like
Yeah,
if you got a little higher,
Yeah.
you could tilt up a little more. You could see a little bit more of this beautiful set
The
that's
other
been
thing was
built
if we brought stools in,
by an
it would
amazing
actually
craftsman.
It'd be an easier reset.
Yeah.
And we have
Well,
them.
slash also whatever other set we make with the stools
Yeah.
is also a million times easier.
You could also
It's
build
just
the
like
entire
standing-
thing
it
onto
takes basically
casters.
same
The only
footprint
problem
with
is
a
I can
different-
swivel.
Yes, and you will.
Well, you don't get swivel ones, and if
No,
you
we-
get something
No,
that's
like we already
have
own.
we have the exact thing we need.
yeah.
It's just that they can swivel.
Throw them away. Lock the swivel.
In fact,
yeah, you can
ironically-
lock the swivels.
Ironically, the reason we have the thing that we're talking about is because we bought them for the show and used them on the show.
And we didn't, because we didn't have the room. It was when the show was in my dining room.
Because the idea could be you could build it all up onto a thing with casters, and you could just roll it on and off, and that would
Yeah,
be
the
really
entire-
easy.
yeah.
to
Neuropilot
do.
is concerned that sitting on a stool gets tiring, but we're only ever 10 minutes of
You have to suffer for your art.
sitting.
no, actually, Eric, you're right. It's irrelevant whether it's what did you do?
You just leaned on something.
I think I touched a button.
Yeah,
the
at least
randomizer
one.
button.
You didn't touch
God.
a. God.
Oh God! What did I touch?
I fixed
You're good.
it.
What did I touch?
I fixed it.
Did you fix it?
I
Yeah.
fixed it.
Should I not touch anything?
Don't touch
Keep touching
anything.
all the things.
Yes, Stoge, the swivel chairs from our house.
This is why you don't ever let me sit next
They
to
are
this thing.
adjustable, Stooge. You're not that tiny.
Well, that's just the point. They're adjustable, so she can be the same height as everybody else.
Well, great. You stand and the rest of us will sit. Yeah, an entire rollable bar situation with the stools already on it.
It's actually.
That actually,
We're back to the other idea, but yeah, that's
that
not,
makes the best sense out of all of it.
it actually
It's like
does.
Uber bar.
Yeah.
It is like Uber Bar. Can we have a curtain in the front and then we just like snap and it like rolls down and that's where all the alcohol is stored? Please, please,
Actually,
please, please.
Dada, this isn't a terrible idea of instead of having a stage that's just a permanent object, having a rollable thing that we can just.
Oh, they're adjustable. You didn't realize that. You are the most adorable thing I've ever met in my life.
We need a place to put it.
No, you're right.
The stage?
You're the second,
yeah,
because this one
but
takes the
it would
cake,
fit over
but-
there, I think, right? And then you don't need a comment set anymore. This is the stage is the comment set. We just swap them in.
Mike said he's in the closet.
Oh, we knew that.
Oh God, I touched something again.
Ah!
Ah!
Now you're on
disappeared.
camera.
So
Now
sorry.
you're on camera.
Turn and
Now
wave to the
you're on
camera. Wave to the camera.
Yes!
Yes. The best part is I'm not going to fix it.
Oh,
so now it's
no.
awkward.
I see you!
There's a tally light. The lens is covering it from this angle.
That's amazing.
All right, I think we're done. I think we have some really great ideas for the show. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I hope you're excited for this social as much as I am. This is going to be awesome.
No, nobody's excited for that.
As much as you are.
Oh, that is true.
Nobody's excited.
That is true.
It is really cool, but nobody's excited.
Oh yeah, I'm Ben Gasmin over this. Something fierce.
And it's gross.
And it is gross and sticky and gooey.
No, it's not. Sorry.
I think we got a lot of really great stuff accomplished today. I hope you're excited for Cities. Thank you for bearing with us through all the technical stuff. But we got so much stuff done today, it's not even funny. And you got to watch what it's like behind the scenes pretty much every other day of the week. This is a lot of what it's like. And by the way, what we just did from a conversation
This is
standpoint,
exactly the way we talk to each other.
this is what it's like. Like every day we get together, it's like, no, this, that. Yeah, this is Slack.
This
so
is real life.
If you enjoyed this and you want more of it, get up to the level, the Patreon level where you can get in Slack, and it's a lot more of me not deciding things or changing my mind often.
And you have my pity.
Yeah. So thank you everyone so much for being patrons. First off, you are what makes this show possible. You are what makes this set possible. You're what allows us to do this week after week and attempt to get people excited about space.
And you're obviously the ones that fix all of our problems. So thank you for that too.
Without you, there would be no show. We are nothing
This is
without you, truly nothing without you. And you're willing to commit your own hard-earned money towards the show. And I really, truly do appreciate it. And hopefully we're decent stewards with your money and actually trying to build things in a way that you agree with and doing things that you agree with, just doing things you agree with.
Until Ben thinks you're wrong.
Until I think you're wrong. And I appreciate you letting me be crazy. So on that note, thank you. We'll see you guys next week. And we'll keep hacking away. And I'm excited for you to see us implement some of these changes. I think it's going to be pretty cool. So we'll see you guys next week.